All right, episode 122. Emma Bostick, my cousin. Welcome to the podcast. We're just talking about Marvel. You're going to see Spider-Man.
Yes.
Tonight.
Yes.
Odyssey just came out. You saw that. You liked it.
Odyssey, yes.
What do you give it?
It was really good. I'd give it like a 9.
Really?
Yeah.
You seen it once?
Twice.
You have seen it twice?
Yes.
Okay. Did you pick up on things the second time? I've heard a lot of people have.
I did. There's just, little things I feel like if I watched it again, obviously I'd pick up on more.
Yeah.
But it's just like
it's a
little.
lot.
It's so much.
The first time it's moved so fast.
And it's a long movie, so there's
But it
so
doesn't
much
feel
going
long.
on. Correct.
Like, I never felt like I was doing this.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I went into it blind. Because I've heard, stories of the Odyssey, obviously, but, like, I've never really, like, dove into that world. So, I went into it blind.
Did you not have to read, like, Iliad and Odyssey in school or anything?
No, I didn't read that, but in 3rd grade, I read Tales of the Odyssey.
Okay.
So, I think it was just a more
like a
simpler...
summarization?
Yeah, I don't know. I remember reading
Probably
that,
a whole lot more easy to read than the damn poem, which is...
Yeah. But yeah, it was really good. I had high expectations because it was Christopher Nolan, but I didn't really know what to expect. So going into it, watching everything unfold, I loved it.
Would you say he's the last, like, director that has his own draw? Like, people go to see movies because
he really does, yeah.
I can't think of another director like that. No, he's like our generation, or your generation, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. He's definitely a huge name. Obsession, that director, I think his name's Curry Barker or something like that. He's definitely making a name for himself right now because of that movie.
Up and comer, or
yeah, that Obsession was his first like big break.
What was
basically
the premise of that one? I didn't catch that one.
The story is about how this guy and this girl, like, they're in like a group of 4, and this guy Bear has a crush on this girl named Nikki, and he ended up getting a one-wish willow at like a witchcraft store, kind of like crystals and stuff, because he was gonna go get her a necklace, and he didn't think it would work or whatever, but he was gonna give it to her. He ended up breaking it for himself, wishing that she loved him more than anyone in the world. So it was about that, and how be careful what you wish for, basically. And it was like, basically, it was a horror movie. It was really good. It blew up huge.
When did it come out?
A couple months ago, and it's still in theaters.
Brand new.
It's the budget to make it was $750K, and it's yeah, it's gone crazy. It's broken records.
Their profit margin's high.
Yeah, broken records. So
nice.
I think
kind
everyone's
like the Blair
expecting
Witch
a lot from him.
Back
Yes,
in the 90s,
yeah, it passed the Blair Witch records and all that stuff. So
that was a messed up thing, the Blair Witch. Obviously before your time, but like
I remember my dad making me watch it when I was young. Like I was like 13, I think. And I was terrified.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, this is real. And I was like, I really don't remember it much now, but I remember
they tricked everybody. Like, they did a documentary on the Blair Witch on Discovery Channel to, like, give it some legitimacy. And I remember going to watch it, like, me and Gabe, we're all going to go up there and find this thing. And, like, everybody's standing watching the credits, and at the very end, it's like, it's a work of fiction. It's like, ah!
Yeah.
It's actually funny story about that. Not that funny, really, but I worked at Goodies at the time, and I worked with this gay dude, loved him to death. His name was, I won't give out names, but anyway, good buddy of mine, and back then, nothing was streaming, right? If you missed it, you missed it.
Right.
And he had taped the special, like the documentary, whatever, so he's like, yeah, I borrowed, it's VHS. Anyway, I watched the special, and then it goes to static at the end, right into like leather-clad gay porn, like that he had recorded over, and I was like, oh my! And there was like 40 dudes, and like it was full-blown orgy, swings, captain's hats, all of it, the 9 yards.
Wow.
Anyway, so yeah, I got a an eye full of
that sounds like such an unrealistic story. That's crazy.
It was wild.
Yeah, that's insane.
So yeah, that was my Blair Witch experience. But anyway, so we were talking about Marvel. So you said you're not like into the whole universe.
Yes, a few years ago, I considered it, and I feel like I tried to start it, but it was just boring to me. Like I'm just not a huge action type person, I guess. Yeah. And then I had a film arts class for college, and the whole I don't even know what they call it. Just the whole class we had to break down Marvel movies. So it was,
Really?
Yeah. Black Panther, I watched that. That one's a really good one. I like Black Panther a lot. We had to watch Captain America, like the first Captain America, and just other Marvel movies. So at that, like around that point, I was like, yeah, I want to get into this. I want to watch them all. I want to know what's going on. Didn't do that. So I dropped it. And then with this whole Spider-Man thing coming out, my boyfriend really wanted me to watch it. And I was like, no, like I don't care to do it. He's like, please just watch the first one with Tom Holland.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So I watched that one the other night. And it was good. And so he wanted to go see...
Is he a big Marvel dude?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. So we watched all the ones leading up to this week. We finished.
So you got a crash course.
Yes, we finished the last one this morning. So I have a idea of what's going on.
I never could get into comic books. I never enjoyed like the superhero stuff. I didn't trust anybody that wore underwear on the outside of their pants.
Yep.
It just bothered me.
Yeah, why are you
I don't
doing
know
that?
what is going on there. Batman is the only one I really like, but that was also because Tim Burton did. I was a huge Tim Burton fan growing up. After because Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. I don't know if you have heard of that show. Like it was a kids show, and then like Pee Wee had his Playhouse. You know, it was like the word of the day and all that stuff. It was made for kids, and then Tim Burton did a movie about it and took it like in a dark. It was like a black comedy. And of course, Edward Scissorhands, were all coming out when I was, pretty young.
Yeah.
And then he did, of course, Batman '89, which was the first movie I remember like that had a massive marketing budget. Like Taco Bell had Batman cups.
Yes.
It was like, this shit's getting big when like they're franchising. And I remember seeing that movie in theaters and just loving it. Of course, I've got the Batmobile over there. I love that. Just that the Joker Batman dynamic. And then Christopher Nolan obviously did the Batman trilogy, which Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
What do you think makes that movie so damn unforgettable?
I mean, I feel like I did watch it at some point, but all the Batmans, I remember watching the one with Robert Pattinson when it first came out.
Okay.
But
That's
the
actually
ones
surprisingly
with
good.
the Jokers, yeah, because it's like I've never been drawn to them. The only reason I've watched these movies is because someone wanted me to, or I had to, or whatever. I've never done it myself. So, but I do, like, I've obviously, like, seen clips and I've heard about The Dark Knight, all that stuff. So, Heath Ledger's...
Heath Ledger. That's it. He was a gay cowboy. That's all anybody thought of him as. It's like he was in Brokeback Mountain and it's like, they're picking this guy for the Joker, get out of here.
Yeah.
And then you're like...
No, yeah, he did wonderful. I've definitely, I've seen... the biggest scenes in there.
Like he steals the whole movie. You need to see it start to finish sometime if you actually haven't.
Yeah, I ought to.
It really is. And I'm not into superheroes and not even really that much into action unless it's done really well.
Right.
But like he just he felt insane. Like, just like in control but insane.
Yeah.
One of the best performances I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what are your top 5 like favorite movies? Like where?
Oh my god.
Where are you at?
Oh god, this is rough. I will always forever say that my top 1 will be The Hunger Games. I love The Hunger Games.
Did you read the books or just watch the movie?
Did multiple times. Yes,
really?
I love everything about it. They're actually coming to theaters again in September, so I'm watching all of them.
Like
in
they're
theaters.
re-releasing them. Nice.
Yeah, I love those movies.
I just saw the first movie for the first time like within the last few months ago. Yeah, Julia showed it to the boys, and I just never. So they'd read the books and stuff, and I hadn't seen it. I thought it was good.
No, yeah, the books are great, and the movies are wonderful for what they are. I mean, obviously.
How close are they to the books? Because I know I get furious because I'm a nerd.
I mean, they follow it relatively well. There are a few things that I think they tweaked in the movies that was unnecessary.
Sure.
But I feel like that's, any book to movie thing. There's always tweaks. There's always less. But the books are wonderful. I would recommend them to anybody. And I actually want to reread them. I literally watch the Hunger Games movies at least twice a year.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I love them. I'll never get tired of them.
Yeah.
And then the books.
How many are there?
So like the original Hunger Games, there's 4 movies, 3 books.
Okay.
And then just a couple years ago, they did like a prequel book and a prequel movie, and now there's a new one coming in November, which is also a prequel, but it's in between that prequel and the original.
Okay. So it's getting complicated now.
Yes, but if you know the Hunger Games, you obviously know what's going on because it's the people's games. Like it's the Hunger Games is about Katniss and Peeta. That's
Yeah.
the 74th Hunger Games. That whole, trilogy right there is the 74th and 75th Hunger Games. And then the prequel that they released was the 10th Hunger Games. And about
Okay.
how President Snow came into power. And then the next movie they're about to release is about Haymitch's Games, which was the 50th Hunger Games.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you watch the Hunger Games and you're like, paying attention, it's all like, okay, I want to know this. Because, me personally, I feel like Haymitch's Games are very important. Everyone's very curious about those. Because Haymitch is like their mentor in the original Hunger Games.
It's tough to do properties like that because you have to have so much investment in it for people to care. Like Game of Thrones is that way. You've obviously got House of Dragon, which is 100 years before, and it's a great story. And then Yellowstone's done it. I know Taylor Sheridan's gone back, did 1883 and then 1923, which are like you were talking about prequels in different stages of this family.
Yeah.
But you've got to have a lot of public support to be able to do stuff like that. Otherwise,
for
it's like,
sure.
who cares?
I mean, the first prequel that they released, it had been years since the last one came out, and I don't think really anyone was expecting a new movie or a new book.
Right.
And so I feel like, me personally, I was like, I wonder how this is going to be, because the first 4 movies are great, and like, what is this going to do, It was pretty good.
But the prequels are based on books, right? You said
yes, the books did come out before the movies, but the books, like the prequel book, came out after all the books too. So it's like the first prequel was pretty good. I mean, it's not my favorite, but it's not bad by any means. I just didn't care about the arc. But this next movie coming out, I've wanted for a while.
Really?
And I think everyone else feels that way too. So
that's the timeline you want to see.
Yes, everyone wants to know what happens. The book that I read, whenever it came out, I read it immediately, and I was like, oh my god, like throughout the whole thing, because it reveals a lot about the original series, like a lot of things that you just wouldn't even click, or just,
And that makes the world richer and deeper with that history. I feel the same way with Game of Thrones. I know you haven't watched it, but like the history and the lore, just it deepens the world.
Yes.
The world building. Tolkien was that way. He had the whole Silmarillion that set up like all the history, and it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I think novels or art, think probably authors have one of the harder creative jobs in that. Like, it's tedious to just write down every single line, but like also planning it out and like how's this going to end. You got guys like Stephen King who wing it and their endings are always shitty because they don't plan it out, but at least he's working, like he's putting out content for his fans, unlike George Martin, who hadn't put a fucking Game of Thrones book out in 15 years. I'm surprised nobody's kidnapped him like Misery style and forced him to write it. But all right, so you got Hunger Games. What else is in your top 5?
Oh my gosh, I love the Twilights, but it's not because they're good. It's not because they're good.
I love the qualifier there.
Yes, like
not
everyone.
Not because they're good.
A lot of people are very much, Twilight, but I grew up on them. My mom, raised me with them, so I love them. They're just like
huge.
comfort movies.
Okay.
And they're super cringe, I know, but I love them. So those are in my top 2.
Robert Pattinson got his start in Harry Potter.
Yes, Robert Pattinson's everywhere right now. He is doing so much right now,
but
and
he
it's
was
crazy.
in Goblet of Fire as Cedric Diggory. Did you watch the Harry Potter movies?
No, I haven't seen anything.
Really?
I have not seen a lot of movies at all.
Your generation got screwed with entertainment. Like, by the time, like, you and, like, Max is 16, like, Hollywood became so risk-averse. Mm-hmm. It's like everything had to be a sequel, a prequel, a reboot.
Yes.
And it's like there's no new movies anymore.
I hate it.
We were growing up in the 80s and 90s, everything was new and fresh. And they did sequels and stuff like that on those franchises, but they were willing to take risks on new things. Right.
And that's
back
not a
then.
thing
And
anymore.
now it's like, no.
I think that's why Obsession blew up so much, is because it's an original story. But
yeah, probably.
Like, I am so tired of, the Ice Ages having sequel after sequel, and the Shreks having sequel after sequel, and all those movies, the Toy Stories. Why do we have 5?
Right.
We don't need to.
Horror and metal are the only 2 branches that are actually doing new things now.
Yes, it drives me crazy. Crazy.
Yeah,
like, it should have stopped at 1, maybe 2. Okay? Maybe. It depends on the series, but, like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Bad.
No, I get it. It gets ridiculous. But I do feel like growing up on Karate Kid, Cobra Kai was absolutely phenomenal, and it was the greatest example I can ever think of revisiting something years later and treating it with respect and dignity, and you could tell a passion project. And I think there were 6 seasons. But it was a wonderful show, great family show, great all ages show, and there were so many Easter eggs from the original movies.
Yeah.
Unlike the Star Wars sequels, which just literally shit on everything from 4, 5, and 6. It's like it was in that era of we're going to subvert your expectations on everything to be cool, and it's like that's not what fans want. Fans don't want to see Luke being a bitch and throwing the lightsaber over his shoulder. I'm sorry, that's not what they want. So I feel like you've also had that kind of moment in Hollywood where it's like, let's just upend the narrative and change things to make everybody a fucking loser. And it's like, I don't know, it makes me sad. Yeah. But, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
You still got the originals. You can still also, I consider anything after George Lucas fan fiction anyway. But, okay, so what else we got?
Oh, Lord. Step Brothers. I love Step Brothers.
That's before your time, too, isn't it?
Yeah,
so that's
a little bit. It was like right. I mean, I remember growing up on that movie too. Well, me and my family were at the cabin. It was always on. So that's one of my favorites.
Well, it's an interesting thing as a parent because you want to introduce your kids to the stuff you were into,
right? But
doesn't always take. You know, especially between dad and daughter. It's different. I'm sure you've got a lot of stuff from both your mom and your dad's side, but. Having all boys, they love Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, Lord of the Rings, that kind of stuff. So it's cool when even Max loves the old '60s Godzilla movies with the rubber suits and shit.
Interesting.
And they're cheesy as hell.
Yeah.
Well, it's also funny if you put dubs and subs on at the same time.
Oh Lord.
Like, because they don't match.
Yes, I hate those.
So it's like
hate dub overs. Hate them.
Well, did you watch Squid Game? Did you ever see Squid Game?
I did.
What did you think of it?
I did like the Squid Games whenever they came out. That was a long time ago, though. I mean, I was 15 maybe when they came out, maybe 16.
Yeah.
I did like them. I didn't watch the second season because there had been so much time in between.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't even care for this anymore.
Yeah.
But
momentum is everything.
I'm pretty sure I watched that in sub. I just don't like any One Piece. I watch it in sub. Like if I choose to watch it, like I don't like watching words and not
lining up. What, you're talking about
the
cartoon? The animated? Are you watching it?
No, I started to a while ago. I got like 30 episodes in or something. But
why'd you quit? Just couldn't handle the
there's just a lot going on.
And weirdness.
Yeah, there's just
like
a lot
when
going
everybody's
on.
teeth turns trying. I'm 500 episodes in. I'm committed to this show. Me and Theo are watching it.
And it's also because it's so long, and I'm just like, oh my god.
It is dauntingly long.
Yeah. So
but
I mean, it's like if it's on, I'll watch it. But I'm really just not a huge show person in general. Like, I have 4 shows that I rotate through.
Okay.
The Walking Dead. I could talk about that forever. I love The Walking Dead.
Okay.
That's one of them. So, but it's like, I'm so picky about watching new things. And that's why I haven't seen a whole bunch of movies, too.
So how'd you get into... I'm assuming you watched One Piece live action. And that's what led you to the anime. So
I watched the anime before that, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, because the guy that I was talking to at the time, he's like, you should watch this. And I was like, I don't really know. Yeah. But I did. And it was fine. Like, I did like it. It's just, like, it's so long. Again, I'm not the craziest into the action thing. Just much of that. So it's just, like, it is what it is. When the live action came out, season 1, I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's short. And I was like, I can get through all this.
Well, and they tone it way down.
Yes, obviously.
Which for American audiences, you have to. Mm-hmm. Like, if Julia comes in the room and we're watching One Piece, she turns right the fuck out and walks out.
That's hilarious.
She can't handle it. And
it's a lot.
Funny how sexual it is.
Yeah.
Like, Sanji is such a perv.
I love Sanji, though.
I know, he's great, but it's
he's
like...
very much a perv.
Swan! He starts jiggling, and I mean, and they do, like, there's a scene we were watching the other day where, so, I don't know if you know, there's a 2 years time skip later on where they train, and then, like, the crew all gets back together, and, they end up meeting some mermaids, and one of them, like... grabs Usopp and his nose is in between her boobs.
Oh,
and they're like
Lord.
jiggling, and you're like, wow, this is a kid's show.
That's crazy. I did not see that.
And there's like scenes where Sanji will see a woman, and he's like, her boobs are perfect, and he'll zoom in on them, and they'll bounce, and like her buttocks are round, and they'll jiggle. It's like, bro, like this is wild. Like, and Theo, he's 11, and he's just like, bro, what is this?
Yes.
He's still girls are gross age,
Yeah.
And, it's weird to see that in a kid's cartoon, but it is funny.
It is, yes.
But I love the One Piece property. That character, Monkey D. Luffy, is just like,
I love Luffy.
And that guy that got to
Yes.
play him, I don't
Wonderful.
know the guy's name, but he is the most charming son of a
Yes, he does Luffy wonderfully.
bitch. Yeah. Well, a toned down Luffy.
Right, but like that,
But yeah.
kid playful
Yeah, no,
energy.
I think the casting's fantastic.
Yes, I did like the casting as well.
Everybody.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
So.
I heard the third season's coming out in September, which would be awesome. And if they actually the show's doing really well.
Is it?
Like especially the second season. A lot of people went back and watched the first season because I hadn't seen the first season either. But when the second season came out, the family was looking for something to watch, and because there's just not a lot of good shows on anymore
There's
for families, especially.
Yeah.
And so it was like that'd be fun to watch. Kids love Pirates of the Caribbean, and I've always loved pirate stuff. So it was fun, very cartoonish, but family friendly, and just loved it so much. I was like, I'm not gonna read comic books. Like I said, I can't read comic books.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna see images, I want it to be moving. Or
Correct.
if I'm gonna read, I want to imagine it the way
Yes.
I want to imagine it.
Yes.
So comic books are just not for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of comics either.
But the animated series has been on. We're about halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been since whenever season 2 came out, whenever that was. So it's been several months.
Yeah.
But a couple episodes in a day, and
Yep.
and there's also a lot of filler in the animated series too.
Mhm.
Like just
Like a lot, yeah.
like whole episode with a battle sequence.
Yeah.
It's like that's all there is one fight.
Yeah.
But that guy, I think what's his name? In I call him Inchirito, which is obviously not his name, Inchirito Odo. But like he doesn't allow himself to be photographed. Like he won't like do. He'll do interviews, but he won't allow himself to be filmed or photographed because he wants the star of the show to be the characters.
Interesting.
Which I thought was a very selfless kind of thing. Most people want to get all the glory and that stuff, but he didn't want to be famous. I'm sure he's getting paid handsomely now that he's got. And they're rebooting the anime. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah, they're redoing the anime on Netflix, and I don't know why, because it's actually going to be in Japanese and dubbed. So it's like they're just redoing. I thought it was going to be like for American, like in English. It's like, why are you doing that when you're doing the live action? So I don't know, but he seems to be that property seems to be doing well.
Yeah.
But you just started your musical career,
Yes.
which is awesome. You've now played a couple of times. You did the first Outlaw Kings show. You did. Did you just do one song that night? What song did you do that first night?
The Story
The
by
Story.
Brandy Carlisle.
Okay, and then this last time you and your dad did four songs together. You did a couple songs with us. What was that experience like?
I was so nervous
Were you really?
thinking about it. Whenever I got there, I was like I was wondering if I was going to be like shaking nervous because I was in choir like forever.
Okay.
And every time I would get solos, like my mind isn't nervous, like I'm calm here, but my body is, and it just reacts.
I understand that.
And
Yep.
so whenever I'd get solos in choir, I would be more than confident, but then I'd go up there and I'd shake, and
Really?
I still did it, obviously, but it was just
Right.
like it freaked me out. And so
Did that get easier over time, or was it always like that?
it got just a little easier every time.
Okay.
But I could never really rein it in.
Mhm.
And so this show was the first time I've performed probably since, like, in front of people since my last choir solo, which
And
was...
how many people are typically in a choir?
It depends. Mine was probably, I don't know, let's say 30, maybe.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, we would just, walk up to the mic and sing our
Right.
solos or whatever. So the months leading up to the show, I was like, I wonder if my body's going to react. Because mentally, I was like, I don't know, like, I'm confident in it. I'm not worried about it. But, like, I worry about my body because I can't keep it
Right.
under control when I start to shake.
Then you can do.
And I got there and I was like, okay, like it was fine. The first song that I did, I was fine. Me and my dad, I mean, the shake was there just a little bit, but I could control it.
Did it get better after you started? Because for me, it's like the lead up. It's like the anxiety, and most of mine isn't about performance so much as it is like technical difficulties. Like, what if a wire goes out? What if a tube goes out? What if that kind of stuff. But just like a football game, like I used to get super anxious until kickoff, and then it was fine. Like once that first song hits, I was fine.
That's kind of how it was for me, because I think On With The Show was my first, and the fact that it was with the band and not,
Oh yeah, because you and your dad played the break.
Yeah.
So On With The Show was actually the first one you did.
So it wasn't all eyes on me completely. So that was a good,
but you
introduction.
did great. You did phenomenally well.
Thanks.
Sounded good.
Yeah, but that kind of broke that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. I walked back, I was like, okay, I can do this. So, it was fine.
How special is it to play with your dad, though?
I could cry talking about it. And I really don't want to, so I'm going to...
Oh, come on. Everybody wants tears.
No.
No, I having... The way Walter and I started out was because Durham had been on hiatus for so long.
Yeah.
And I'd always talked about doing a Durham Fest, and Walter was like, hey, you got to do it this year, you're not going to do it. Because the kids got really into, the Durham CDs, Carry Me Home and stuff like that, legitimately into it. And so we did it, and that just caused this whole avalanche of everything. Not only reuniting with people from the past and that, but, by Durham Fest 2, Walter had been on the kit for, just back there screwing around, and he was like, do you think we could play a song? And I was like, yeah, we can do a song. He was like, what was the next Durham song y'all would have worked up? I was like, well, Masquerade probably, and it's pretty straightforward on drums, not too complicated. So he was like, well, let's play that at Durham Fest 2, and I was like, well, let's get Dad to play bass, and so we did one song, super special. Fast forward a year, and we did 8. We did a full set with the three of us, and we were like, we need a bass player. Let's legit do this. And of course, now we're going in the studio on the 20th to record our first album. So, it just organically happened. But it's just 3 generations, super special. Yeah. I know you got the same thing going on with your dad, so don't cry, but tell me what it's like. Because he introduced you to a lot of the music you love.
Everything musical comes from my dad. Everything. My mom...
Is your mom not as big as into music? Or?
No. Growing up, I'm pretty sure everything was my dad's influence. My mom does like the music that we listen to, but I think it was my dad's doing.
Right.
And so, I don't even... Anything music related, I correlate with my dad, because he just introduced me to all of that. And, he got me my first guitar for my pre-K graduation. And
for when?
My pre-K graduation.
Pre-K?
Yes, it was like a little guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure you got some pictures of that somewhere.
Probably somewhere. I don't know. I remember it being a kid size.
You need to post something on there. I want to see that guitar. Yeah.
But I remember I was so stubborn when I was a kid, and I just it was hard for me to put my fingers where I wanted them to be. So for the longest time, I was like, I'm not doing this. Yeah. So my next thing was piano. I got my first piano when I was 7. And that's the instrument that's my instrument.
So you play piano?
Yes. I can't read music, so...
Nor can I, no shame in it.
Yeah, I can't, everything that I know on piano is either by ear or, YouTube videos that I've watched, tutorials and stuff. But that's my main instrument.
The Beatles didn't know how to read music. They're the greatest band of all time. Paul eventually learned... There's a great quote by Paul. It always surprises people that rock stars can't read music, because you think a musician would need to do that. And it's somebody asked him why he didn't or didn't want to, and he said, if I learn how to do it the right way, then I'm going to try and write the right way, and I won't be any good. Yep. And then the motherfucker went and learned how to read and write music, and his stuff started to suck. I'm not saying that's directly correlated, but... I've never wanted to learn. My mom wanted me to take piano, and it's I don't care. Yeah. I can make my own notes, I can experiment, I can do what I want, and I just remember it,
Yeah, it was just so complicated to me when I was young, and I was just
yeah.
I know my dad tried. He tried to get me to learn how to read, and I was like, it's not happening.
He can't
I'm
read
not
music
doing this.
either, though, can he?
No.
Staff music.
I can read music when I'm singing, but that's a completely different thing. I can sight read when I'm singing, but, piano...
When you're singing, is it, a staff notes?
I don't know why it doesn't click in my head with piano. I think it's just because
I've always
I don't
thought the
know.
two-hand thing was kind of like
It's yeah,
complicated
it
to
is.
me.
Whenever I was young, I could only do two hands if it was basically like going on at the same time.
Yeah.
But now, you know, I can do a whole bunch of different stuff. But
So do you practice on a keyboard? Do you have okay.
yeah, but I mean, I go through phases. So you know, I'll spend 3 months dialed in on one song. Like
Right.
I learned Claire de Lune, and that I
Really?
was so set on learning it, like out of spite too. It was because someone else, like one of my friends, knew it, and I was like, I refused for you to like have this over me, so I learned it too.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, it was literally out of spite to learn that song. But I've always wanted to. It was just so difficult to me, like in my head.
Yeah.
But like spite's a crazy thing. So
Spite's a hell of a
drove
drug.
me. It drove me, and I learned it. So I really I locked in on that one for a while, and then once I learned it, you know, I'm playing it all the time, and then I am done, and then I won't touch my piano for months.
Right.
That's just kind of how I work. I've learned the first movement of Moonlight Sonata. Yeah, and right now I'm in a phase where I don't want to touch it. So
Do you still play guitar at all?
a little bit. I know just simple things like
Okay.
I can't do bar chords,
Okay.
but I mean just little stuff I know. But I'm more skilled at piano than I am guitar. But I say that I can play guitar, just not great.
Right. Well, you've always got an amazing voice, but what really impressed me was, I know we'd taken Theo out there to go fishing, and just hearing you sing harmonies, and only the harmonies. And I was really fascinated by that. But you said you've always been that way.
Always, yeah. I remember one time, I don't even know where we were, but I was in the back seat of the car. My dad was in the passenger in front of me, and my mom was driving. I feel like we were dropping someone off somewhere, and I was young. And there was a song on, and I was just singing the harmony to it. My dad's like, stop. Like, I just, like, would just do it over and over again. That's the only part I sing. Like, I would not sing the melody at all.
But you had the ear for it.
Yeah.
Like you were hearing the harmonies, where a lot of people don't even notice.
Yeah, so I've always been that way, and I always prefer harmonies. Like, in choir, I've always preferred to be an alto because they have usually a melody, or a harmony to the melody, because sopranos are usually the melody.
Right.
I just like, I don't know. It's just something in my head.
There's nothing more beautiful to me than a vocal harmony blending with itself, especially when it's your own voice, like, you know, doing your own harmonies, or even siblings or people in the same family. Your version of Sands of Time is fantastic. The way your voice blends with itself and the harmonies you laid down on that. It's a fucked up key you drug me to. But it sounds great with your voice. I was listening to your harmonies today, because you had done some stuff I hadn't done in the original demo that I was trying to capture poorly. But your voice sounds great layered on itself. But do you not feel like you could carry lead vocals if you wanted, like melody wise, or do you prefer to?
I could, and I like. Yeah, I could, and I.
Because I want to see the Emma Bostick band. I want to see when that show is coming. Like, do you have any future like plans to other than
I just don't know. Like, it's just I don't know how I would set up a band, and I'm not really creative whenever it comes to making up my own stuff from nothing.
Have you tried writing?
A little bit. Like, sometimes I'll, you know, focus on it for hours at a time, and then I'm like, I don't like this, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm so picky with myself, because it's like,
Sure.
you know, I hear other songs, and I hear phrases and metaphors and all that stuff. I'm like, that's so smart. Like, I wish I would have thought of that. I feel that.
But
like,
then you got My Libido, My Mosquito that
Yes.
sold 1 billion copies, and it's like, who cares?
But it's like, who even thinks that way? Like, where is this even coming from?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can't. Either way, like, it's just, anything that I've tried to write is just so, like, generic to me, and it's just like, anybody could write this, and I don't care for it. Like, it's just.
Well, you know, they say comedians, it takes you 10 years to get good, to really get into the flow, to do your own thing. It took me about 10 years to really become what I felt was a competent songwriter. I also grew up in a weird time where it's like I started writing when I was 13, which would have been 94 I would have turned 13 in 94, so 95. So you got grunge is everywhere, right? Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, all that, Smashing Pumpkins, Collective Soul. And when you're a kid, what you do is you emulate. Mm-hmm. So you're copying other people until you get that recipe, that ingredients, and you stop copying and then you start integrating into your own sound. But it took me a good 10 years to where I felt, from 13 to probably 23 when I started Durham, and I was like, I can write my own shit. That now there's every now and then those songs will come out that I get so jealous. I was like, I wish I'd have written that one.
Yes.
But to gain that confidence took about 10 years. And if you look at the thousands of songs I've written and the ones that were slated to record or are slated to record, it's about 10%. So for every song we throw on a record, 9 songs just get trashed, get cut, But I also don't have the pressures of a label pushing me to get an album out, or anything like that. But I would encourage you to play with it more, because I think you could do it.
Yeah, it's also just like not having the music with it. Like, I'm just so like, if I write lyrics, I want something, like, I want the music to go off of so I can put them in a specific place.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't have the music. And so, like, I'll go on YouTube and, search up, like, instrumentals of whatever.
Yeah.
Just to play something. But it's like, and I've started to do a little bit of, I have one song out there in my head. Like, I've half-assed recorded it. And it's fine, but, like, I'm just so picky. But, like, I dropped... No.
From long ago?
No, I wrote it... probably, like, a year ago or something. Probably. I don't really know. Okay. Maybe a year and a half ago.
You got a demo for it?
Slightly. It's, like, half of one. Because I just, like, I delete stuff, and then, like, I'll leave it for... I know I left it for a few months, and then I listened to it again. I was like, oh, it's, like, not as bad as I thought. So
do you write music on the keyboard?
What I did in that instance was I think I downloaded the YouTube thing that I found and put it in, and then I just recorded my voice over it. But, I don't know, it's been a while. I don't know where it is. But, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was when I first wrote it.
Yeah.
But I'm still just like,
It's one of those things that, like, you really just have to just do it over and over and over and over and over. And not everybody's a writer, like, my dad's played music all his life, and he just didn't really have the interest in doing it. Yeah. He's written some cool riffs. I remember when I was a kid, he'd show me little licks, and I'm stealing that. Like, I like that.
Like, I'm very much better if I have lyrics in front of me. I can come up with something in terms of, like, the pitches and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I can come up with that like that. But the lyrics itself, no. And then, like, the guitar and piano or whatever I'm using, I can't come up with that. But if I have the guitar and piano and I have lyrics, I can put the vocals into that very easily.
Maybe co-write.
Yeah.
You and your dad should sit down and work.
I feel like we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Like, a long time ago. But, yeah.
I'd be down to sit down and do a writing session sometime. I want to see you go places. I think you got the talent for it. And I thought, you and watching you and your dad was super special. For me, obviously I love your dad. We've been, known each other all our lives. Played in our first band together. I was 15, and your dad came to me and he was like, hey, we're getting rid of our singer. I know you got a ton of songs, and you sing, you want to come join our band, and the rest was history. We played in that first band for probably a year together, and then I went off and did my own thing, but he was always involved, and even though we weren't in bands together, he'd always get up and do a few songs with us. You familiar with the Nixons? Has he introduced you to some of their stuff? So we were big Nixons fans, and my band Sober got to open up for Zach Malloy when he came to Fayetteville, and
that's awesome.
I was like, we got to cover Baton Rouge, like, in honor of Zach. And so your dad, well, we had already been covering it, I think. Your dad would play that in Crawl Space with us every show, and we actually had Zach Malloy there, and I was up talking to the bartender, and he's like, well, have you talked to Zach? He's not playing that song. I was like, well, that's a good point. He was like, you ought to ask him if he's cool with it. And I was like, well, where is he? He's like, he's upstairs eating pizza. So I went up and introduced myself, and I asked him, I was like, hey, covered in Baton Rouge tonight. Is that cool? Are you playing?" And he's like, "No, we're just doing solo stuff," because the Nixons had broken up by that point. And he was like, "I'll be down. I'll check it out." Anyway, he came up after the show and was like, "Man, y'all killed it."
That's
and,
awesome.
Ended up befriending him, and we recorded 3 songs at his house out in Tulsa with my band, The August, which was a really cool experience for me.
I bet. That'd be so
and being
cool.
down and like, because he had it down in a basement. It was not like creepy chain basement, like it was a fully furnished basement, but like he had tour posters of them opening up for Kiss and playing with Bush and Live and Weezer, like you name the 90s band.
Yeah.
They had toured with these guys, and Toby Wright produced their second album, who produced Alice in Chains' Dirt. So it was just really a cool experience for me getting to do stuff like that.
Awesome.
You know, you never know where things are going to take you, but now he's in Nashville just as a songwriter. He's writing songs, he's writing for pop artists, country artists, all that shit. I mean, that's the gig of a lifetime right there. You don't have to tour, you just sit home and write shit for other people. I love doing that, because I don't particularly like playing live. Like, once I'm up there, I'm fine. It's just like you said, it's like the anxiety up to the point. But what do you, like, how was that night for you, like, playing that set with your dad? Like, what was that like? Was it pretty special?
Yeah, I mean, we've always, sung together whenever all of our families together. Like, whenever we had our cabin, he'd always bring the guitar, and we'd always end up, doing stuff together. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I know Wicked Game has always been one that has always been one of my favorites.
Y'all's version of Wicked Game kills.
It was, choosing our set was rough.
Was it?
Yes, because it was just like, there's so few songs that I think that we would be able to accomplish just us on acoustic.
Sure.
But I mean, Wicked Game was immediate. That was 100% one that I wanted to do. No doubt about it. No, like, I was like, you're not convincing me otherwise. Like, this is going on our set. That was the first song that I chose.
Yeah.
I love Wicked Game.
And y'all's version is killer.
It was interesting doing that, and that was probably the most complicated song to figure out how we were going to do.
You changed the key, didn't you?
It might have been different from the original version, but there's another version, I can't remember who it's by, but it's very similar to theirs. I tweaked it with the harmonies and stuff.
Yeah. But
figuring out who was going to sing what and when I'd go into a harmony, and that harmony at the end, I mean, we were just messing around, and I was like, I'm going to try this, sing, and that's how it happened.
So some of the cool shit
happened. I was like, yeah, I think people will turn their heads at this, because it's, it's not a version that you've heard before. Yeah. So I was excited to do that one. And then, I mean, Don't Follow, that was our last song on the set, and I've always had that in my life. And
that song is an underrated piece of music. I've always loved that song. It's
one of my favorites. Like, it's just, every time I hear it, it's just like goosebumps.
I don't know why they didn't do that on Unplugged. Like, that would have been a perfect Unplugged song. They did Sludge Factory, but not Don't Follow. I don't know. Just hire a harmonica player and get up there and do it, but you don't even need the harmonica.
Exactly.
But y'all did a great version of that. What else did you do? Got Me Wrong.
Yeah, and that one, I was iffy about it first, but then my dad played it, and I was like, like once he ran through it with the guitar and I did the harmonies, I was like, yeah, we could do this. And I originally wanted a third harmony in there, but it was just like, it would have been too complicated to find someone to do it, because I mean, I just don't know, my dad's so like doesn't want to reach out to people. We can do this on our own. It's like, okay, whatever. So I had to choose between the middle and the higher harmony, and it originally was going to be the higher harmony because that's what my dad said, but I was like, no, because it's just an octave and I wanted the clash, you know. And so I ended up doing that. That one was a pretty decent one. Like, especially whenever we were rehearsing, I liked that one. And then our last one was Teach Me to Know, which is a song that I
was the only one I wasn't familiar with.
Yes, it's a small band. Like, I don't think a lot of people know who they are. But my dad obviously played it whenever I was growing up, so I knew that. But, I had to learn the lyrics to that one because it had been a while since I heard it. But that one's fun. Like, that one's, like, especially if you have 3 people and, like, if you perform it right, it's a fun, like, I don't know, get into it type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting because that one was one that we just, it was difficult to figure out what we wanted. We switched. We were going to do 2 other songs, but then we're like, no, like I don't love.
But did you have fun with that process of selecting songs?
It was interesting. Me and him clashed a lot because I'm just like, Dad, like I don't love this, and he's like, Emma, why? Like why?
We all
why
both
do you have to
stubborn
be...
assholes.
Yes.
These. You are your father's daughter.
Yes, I really am. Yes.
Yeah, we all are in our
I mean,
own ways.
especially Wicked Game. I was just like, I don't like how this is going. I don't like, us, because I mean, it was gonna be, a lot of it was gonna be unison at some point. And I was like, no, like you need to have your own thing. I need to have my own thing. Like that was just like, no. And he's like, Emma, holy shit. And I'm just like, no, like this is not the way that I want it to be. This is gonna be the way I want it to be. Then we found that version that we ended up performing, and once we found that, we were both like, yeah, this is what it was supposed to be. I was like, this is why I push it, because I know that there's something better, and this is why I push it, because I know.
Well, that's a good attitude to have, though. I mean, as a band leader and somebody who writes songs, I've clashed and lost a lot of opportunities because of my vision of saying, like, first record deal opportunity I had, they were like. And I was 19, maybe 20 years old. We opened up for an international act. They were from Sweden, and their management was here. It was their first tour of the U.S., and I think they started the leg in Fayetteville. And they had approached me after a show and were like, we want to get you set up with a team of writers and this and that. I was like, fuck that shit. I'm working with any writers. I write my own stuff. And, now, given I'm still young and kind of finding my own way, but to me, that wasn't rock and roll, and they're like, well, good luck then, kid. You got to basically go through do your dues and work through the system like that. And I was like, hey, man, that's just, and this is late 90s, if not after 2000. Whereas I feel like by that time, the rock and roll death knell had already been told. Like, Nirvana was like both one of the greatest and worst things that ever happened to music. It was great in that it was so interesting sounding and so different.
Yeah.
And his melodies were so unique over chord progressions that you hadn't heard before. But then I felt like labels just started copying or like signing every copycat Nirvana band.
Yeah.
And then we ended up with Nickelback. And not to say they're not a talented band. They were just very commercial, very radio-friendly pop, which... rock and roll is ugly. It's messy, I mean, Led Zeppelin wasn't perfect every show. They were sloppy sometimes. It got over polished and just felt, Creed started it, I think, when Creed came out. Their first album was self-produced, My Own Prison, and it was good, but as they went on, then you got videos of Scott Stapp with no shirt, wearing leather pants, having his a fan blow his hair back, and it's like, This is not what rock is, and it hasn't recovered since. I think Nickelback was the last rock band to have a number 1 on the charts, and that was in like 2004.
Yeah.
And then rap and pop and country have all dominated, which all of those, rap, pop, and country, is all about the artist, not the band.
Yes.
Right? So you have less people to worry about. You've just got your star, because country artists typically have a hired band, rappers usually are using something digital background, and then pop stars, obviously, you're just dealing with an individual. I think they're probably easier to control.
Right.
What do I know? I just know rock and roll is dead, because I grew up on my dad's 70s records. You grew up on your dad's 90s records, and that's... Do you like anybody out there now? Anybody new?
Like rock-wise?
Just in general.
I mean, yeah, because I've grown up with what's out there now. So it's like, this is also, I'm very much into the 90s, that music, but I'm very much also into what we have now, like the new artists now, like Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo and Lizzie McAlpine, although she's not as big as everyone else. But the reason I think I like them so much is because my voice is similar to theirs, so it like, I like singing their stuff. But I mean, Hozier and just like, there's a bunch of Mumford and Sons. I love Mumford and Sons, although they had stuff in the 2000s too. Like, they're not a new band, but they're, there's just, I don't know.
What year were you born? 06?
05.
05? Okay.
So I can very much go back and forth. I'm not a huge fan of country. There's a little bit I like, but like, that's not my preferred genre. And then I don't really like rap. But like the pop I do like, but it depends. I'm very specific about
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Harry Styles, I love Harry Styles, but his new album, I'm not the biggest fan of.
Well, even the rock stars that are still going suck now. I mean, the bands from the 90s. Something happens. Like Collective Soul's new album came out 2 Fridays ago, and, you know, I'm still the fucking ancient person that buys CDs. And so, and as you can see on that wall over there, like, it's the collection
Yeah.
is still growing. I just love the CD format because I was so excited when it came out because I didn't have to use a needle to
Yes.
play vinyl. I didn't have to have an 8-track or cassette. Like, it was digital, and I didn't have to switch sides. You know, it was like such a big deal when it came out. And I'm a fan of physical media because once you lose physical media, then you get ads in your playlist. You get edits, especially with like television shows. If something's not politically correct nowadays, they'll go and edit it out of the movie.
And that's bizarre to
Or
me.
they'll take whole movies out of the catalog. Like a great example is Song of the South with Briar Rabbit. It's one of my favorite Disney movies growing up, but it took place on a plantation. And so Disney didn't want to be associated with that. Whereas, and the lead actor, I can't remember the actor's name that played Uncle Remus, was a black dude. And his family was devastated. They were like, he was so proud of that role. Like, that was his favorite role that he had ever done. And Disney just canned it because of, you know, political correctness. And, you know, that's why I like physical media, buying the DVDs, because they can't fuck with it, you know. You think we've gone a little ridiculous with that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, I'm just very much like, whenever I have realized that something's been tweaked in, like, a show or something, it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
At the fact that people have that power. One.
Yeah.
Like, just the fact that you can go switch it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's scary stuff.
The first instance I remember of that was E.T. When Steven Spielberg, because of all the gun violence, he went and digitally changed all of the guns in the movie to walkie-talkies. I was like, what? Why would you do? Like, that's, cops carry guns.
Yeah.
Like, and then they were going to do some shit to Indiana Jones, and thankfully South Park got ahead of them and roasted the shit out of them, and they backed off of that back when South Park had real power. Do you watch South Park?
I did not, but I know what it is, and
Yeah.
I've heard, you know, stuff about it.
Because when that came out, it came out in 97, so I would have been like 15, and the religious right was trying to get it canceled. Like, they were trying to ban that show, and they're like, it's on at 9 o'clock. It's not a kid's show.
Yeah.
You know, like, we have no problem moving the time later, but and if you watch those first couple of seasons, they're so tame, like, compared to what they later became. But I feel like it's just such a different world now. Like, people back then, everybody was a lot faker. Everybody was, you know, more prim and proper on the outside, and now everybody's, you know, we've done away with a lot of that, for better or for worse. But yeah, like the politically correct thing, and like, everybody's gonna have their own. Remember when Marilyn Manson came out? That's another one. Every show, Christians out there ban Marilyn Manson, get him canceled, and like, he seems so tame now compared to some of these artists coming out. You know, it's just so wild to, like, I've never been a fan of censorship or anything. If people want to buy a ticket and go see Marilyn Manson, why not? He covered the, I don't know if it was Eurythmics or Annie Lennox that did Sweet Dreams, do you? But his cover of Sweet Dreams was just amazing. Because my mom, so I got some influences from both my mom and dad. My dad was into more of the hard rock stuff, but my mom was into stuff like David Bowie, which I normally wouldn't have gotten into. And I was like, man, David Bowie's got some he reinvented himself like every album. Like, he was a different character almost. Ziggy Stardust and all that, which I thought was really neat. There's some artists that do that like try and reinvent themselves, and then you got bands like AC/DC who just keep putting out the same album every year, and, you know, it works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some way.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But I just, you know, music's just been in my blood as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
But and then you knocked out Man in the Box at that show. You killed it.
That was an interesting one, for sure.
That's fun.
It was fun. I think that was, it was a good.
And that's a song that came out in '89, so I was probably 7 or 8 when I first saw that music video, and it was scary to me. It was like, this is like evil music, like you know what I mean, like the discordant harmonies and stuff. Like I never heard anything like it.
For sure.
I think Alice in Chains, if they're not the most influential band of all time, they definitely were of the 90s. I think that because Pearl Jam was basically a 70s band,
right?
In the 90s, you know, they weren't doing anything new. They were just doing it really well. Soundgarden was so weird and so many odd, like, I think there's 8 or 9 different tunings on Super Unknown, like open tunings and stuff, which is a guitar player's nightmare.
Right.
You know, you have 20 guitars lined up to play these songs, but I mean, when you're a famous band, you know, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Obviously, Nirvana had their influence, but Alice in Chains, the way they did their harmonies, their songs weren't too overcomplicated. You know, I told Walsh if he learns 10 songs, I'll give him one of my guitars. Like, that was the deal. You gotta learn 10 songs all the way through, and 5 of the 7 he's done now come off of Alice in Chains Unplugged, that one album, because the songs are great.
Yeah.
They work well acoustic. They're not overly complicated, but they have different, like, bar chords and stuff. Like, he struggled with bar chords a lot. And pushing through a couple of those songs, like, it was kind of like getting his first song down took forever. And then the second one came quicker, and now he's learned all the bar chords and the skills and the techniques to where now the songs are rolling. He's already on 7, you know. And I think if you were to put some effort into, like, learning bar chords and stuff and unlock that, you know, you could really be, if you know your basic chords, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you could really be a powerhouse if you got that guitar back out. Started writing. I want to see you go places. I mean, you got the damn talent. You got the force. What do you want to do? Do you want to do something with music?
I mean...
Or do you just want to do the occasional...
Yes. It would be... I mean... My whole life, everyone in my family has always been like, you need to be a singer. Yeah. Always, you know, they've always, I mean, my mom especially.
How old were you when you first, like, people started noticing that you could sing?
I don't know, I feel like it's been forever, like I can't even pinpoint an age, but I mean, probably.
When did you start choir?
Like 12, 13.
Yeah.
I want to say it was probably around then. Maybe.
Where'd you graduate?
Rogers.
Yeah.
But I mean, as time has gone on, it's definitely like developed, like my abilities. But I mean, I remember, you know, my mom always, I mean, I was probably 13 or something when she was like, you need to do something with this.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is there to do? Like, I don't know what to tell you. And it's, I mean, that's just kind of where I am. Like, if I had everything to me, like access to everything, to a band and all of these things with a co-writer and all these things, then I think it'd very much potentially be possible. But it's very, like, the idea is very daunting to me. Like, it's just very, like, that's a lot.
I get it. You've never done it before.
Yeah.
It's a daunting task.
Yeah. So.
I had a girl I'd met a few years ago that asked me, it ended up how we got Kurt as our bass player, actually. She's I don't want to use names, but she's country mostly, and she asked me, she's like, hey, do you think you could put a band together for me? And so I did. Like, I found a band that was, you know, willing and ready to lock in, mostly older guys that had played, like, you know, but still, you know, a seasoned people. And then, like, at the last minute, I was like, yeah, I don't want to do it. So I was like, fuck, I got all these people together and told them, you know, and Kurt was really excited to play bass. And then when we decided to get a bass player, get Dad's a guitar player, he doesn't need to be on bass. He can play bass, but he needs to be on guitar. And so because I had put that band together for her, I thought of Kurt immediately, who was my best friend growing up, Jared's dad. So I remember staying the night over at Jared's. You know, you stay the night at your friends' houses, you didn't even see the parents. You know, they didn't give a shit. But Kurt would come down to the basement and jam with us. You know, he'd get out the bass and we'd be jamming, like, yeah, we're jamming with Jared's dad, you know. He rode a motorcycle, you know, I always thought he was cool. And then, you know, once I was putting this band together for this girl, he was one of the guys I called to play bass, and he was totally down. So he was the first guy I called when the Outlaw Kings were looking for a bass player. And, of course, he's been with us now since Drumfest 3, which was in 2024. so a couple of years now. But yeah, I mean, those are all just semantic. We can find you something if you wanted to pursue it. What would you imagine? Like, if you had your own band, would you want it like drums, like a full band, or would you want it more like acoustic based? Like, what's your vision for it? Or you just don't even know? It's so
not even a little bit, because it's like I love performing with the band. I love the drums and the guitar,
Yeah.
and like that's so much fun to me.
Yeah.
And like whenever me and my dad, I mean before our guest room was the guest room, it was our music room, and we had the drums set up and the guitar and everything in there, and like jamming out was so much fun.
Yes.
But like if I were to be a lead singer, I just don't know what type of music I would create, because like you know, Lizzie McAlpine, completely different spectrum. Like she's very acoustic based kind of, and just stuff like that. And I love her music too, and I'm very like her and I's voice is very similar, and it's like that is what I would like to do. But then, you know, performing with the band at the show, it's like this is fun, and this is, you know, what I prefer. All of that, you know, just that hype with everyone in the crowd just like so into it, and just, you know, it's completely different things. So I don't know. Yeah. I would love to have a band at my disposal, just to fuck around with and just figure things out. And
I think we could make something happen. I think in time we could make. If you wanted to pursue it, I think we could make something happen. I really do. I want to see you pursue it. But I've always hated doing acoustic shows. I think I did one or two, and the thing I hated about it was there was no drum kit.
Yes.
I played in a cover band with your dad. I was the drummer, and we didn't have a name. We were more of just a party band. We play house parties and stuff. Your dad was on guitar. Nick Biondi was on vocals.
Yep.
I think Matt Brandenburg came back and played bass for us, and then I was on drums, which was a lot of fun because I didn't have to be the lead singer. I didn't have to worry about the leads. I just got back there and just bash around, and it made me a much better drummer than just being the guy that fucks around back behind the kit. I actually had to learn songs.
Right.
But like I've always been a fan of percussion, even at a young age.
Yeah.
All right, have you?
I can't even remember the first time that my dad got the drums out, but I was like, I'm gonna mess around with this. So I was
was that the live kit he had, or was it an electric one?
The live.
The live one?
Yeah. I don't like the electric, because I tried the live first, and I'm like, this is so much better.
Yeah,
like, it's incomparable.
Was it blue?
Yes.
Yeah, that same blue kit. I remember.
Yeah.
That was the kit
I was
played
probably
on.
13 or 14 when we first got that out.
Does he still have that kit?
Yeah, it's up in the attic.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's just like I have nowhere to put it, so I can't ever practice with it. And he lives in an apartment, so he has the electric drum kit there, but it's just
electric drum kits are handy for stuff like that.
Right, for sure.
Obviously.
But it's like if I want to mess with it, I want to go back to what I did, and so. But I can do simple stuff on the drums. Like the songs that we would play, Say It Ain't So, Heart Shaped Box, stuff like that.
There's just something about that.
Yes.
It makes the song come alive.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah.
If you hear just solo acoustic stuff, like, it can be beautiful. And
right.
There's beautiful songs that are, I'll use, Garfunkel. What was their band's name? Why am I drawing? Simon and Garfunkel. Like, a lot of their stuff was very acoustic based with not a ton of percussion in it. It was beautiful, but I preferred like the Zeppelins, the stuff that had dynamics. When you have drums, you can bring it down, and then you can just bring it back up. And Walter, thankfully, had just an ear for that kind of stuff.
Right.
He started out on guitar, and then he was too fucking lazy. He was like, "Oh, it's hurt my fingers, and I have to learn chords. I just want to smash on stuff." And then he got really good really fast, and now he's actually learning guitar and taking it seriously, and he's coming along. But it's amazing how fast he's come on guitar, and I don't see any reason why you couldn't do the same if you wanted to really, or you could just sing. But I think if you put some effort into guitar to where you just be a threat, double threat, even if it's just basic chords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can definitely do it if you know your chords. Bar chords are simple. They're just, once you get them, it unlocks so much.
I'm sure.
So, we'll talk offline about getting you, if you want to pursue it. Because I would love to see you.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Really pursue it. You think you'd want to work with your dad, or you think you guys would just fight all the time?
I would like to work with him. He's kind of, especially with the show, he's kind of understood that. I mean, we are so stubborn, both of us. I'm my father's daughter.
You guys are like...
He knows. Like, he knows that if I'm set on something, you're not changing it. Like, that's just how it is. I feel like he, especially with this show, I feel like he kind of really understood that. So I think if I did ask him to do something with me, he'd probably just let me do it. Even if it pisses him off, he'll be like, you're being ridiculous. And I'm just like, okay, I don't care.
I think it would be super special to see you guys together.
Yeah, it would be
And
fun.
he can write. He's written things over the years. I mean, it'd be a great opportunity for you guys to maybe write something together. Or...
Yeah, we've talked about it. It was, I mean, he plays, whenever I'm over there, he'll just, like, play just, like, random stuff while we're sitting on the couch, and I'll just start humming. And just stuff that he's, made up, but it's just, like, the words is the stuff we need to figure out, so.
Lyrics were, when I grew up, I grew up in the age of Nirvana, where the lyrics were just stream of consciousness, just whatever first came to your head. And I remember Julie and I don't think we were married yet, it was right before Durham got founded, and she was listening to some of the stuff, and she was like, yeah, your band's really good, but your lyrics are terrible. It's like, what? What are you talking about? She's like, they're not good. She's like, what does this even mean? I was like, I don't know, it's a melody, I just put words to it, but it pissed me off.
Yeah.
Like, the criticism, like, every time I've leveled up in music, it's been because of criticism. It's like, because I remember Dad telling me when I was in high school, he's like, you've got some good songs, but you don't have anything with a hook, anything that people can sing along to. I was like, all right, motherfucker. Like, as he was going out of town, I was like, I'm going to write something with a hook. And I wrote Crawl Space that weekend. It's something we still play to this day. First song I ever had on the radio. I remember when I was a teenager, one of the reasons we were so successful, we were too young to be playing in bars, so that kind of gave us a little bit of that was kind of cool, because these young kids, we had to wear like wristbands, said we were underage and all that, but at the time 104.9 The X had a show called Local X. It was run by Nick Thomasma, and so we were able to get our stuff on the radio, and he actually came out to the shows, and at first most of the people came out to see him. Yeah. But then they got to see the bands he was checking out, and he personally created a whole scene in Northwest Arkansas that was doing original music. But unfortunately, he ended up getting divorced and moving back to Michigan, and he still plays. And in fact, I taught him his first guitar chords. He was when he first started playing guitar, and now he still plays, and he bartends and tours and just lives the musician's life, which is awesome, if you could do that. But it was just so cool to be in Northwest Arkansas at that time, when you could have your song on the radio, even if it was on Sunday nights. Like, it had a huge following, and then he put his money where his mouth was, and was like, I'm going to be at the Sober Show this weekend, y'all come out and see me, and you got this radio personality, and he supported us, and that helped us grow. We don't have anything like that anymore now, and it sucks. And there's such a huge, to break through the crust, if you want to be a podcaster, if you want to do anything, you got to have clips, and you got to be on every platform, and you got to do that stuff. With a song, I feel like if you have a really good song, it's a much better chance to, go viral if you can get it shared out, because nobody wants to hear a clipped song. Yeah. Whereas a 3.5-hour podcast, hard sell for somebody with a little bit of time, but you just get one song, get in the studio, get something recorded, and you never know where it can go. That's what we're trying with Outlaw Kings. We're trying, I've not wanted to put, I put some of the demos on the Durham channel stuff, but I don't want to really share that out. I want to get something studio recorded. We're going to do our own music videos. We've got a few different avenues to try that. I've never done our own music videos before, so that'll be interesting. Kind of getting into that avenue. But what do you think about music videos? Because I kind of have a love-hate relationship with them.
I've never really cared for them. Ever.
Yeah.
I remember, when Harry Styles As It Was came out, I was like, oh, this is, very anticipated. I remember watching that, and I was just like, like, whatever, I'm here for the music.
Right.
I don't care about the visuals. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna sound the same. So I've never cared for music videos.
Yeah. I'm pretty much aligned with you. There are a few that really stand out, like Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun video was just wild, and I'd never seen anything like it. But Pearl Jam stopped doing music videos in the late 90s because, to the effect of Eddie Vedder said something to like, I don't want the music video to be the imagery that people see in their heads.
Right.
I want them to think
Yeah.
for themselves, like picture their own thing.
Yeah.
You know, because a music video can really fucking ruin a song for some people. Like,
For sure.
Like, you think of the video and I don't know, the song might be good, but the video is so terrible it, like, associates.
Yes.
And it almost detracts
Yeah.
from the song. So,
For sure.
I prefer, like, just straight up, just record the band live.
Yeah.
Just playing. You know, no fucking fans on your hair blowing, you know, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Just raw. I don't know. So how many, you've been to some concerts.
Mm-hmm.
Who all have you seen live?
Mumford & Sons was my last one.
Okay.
That was a wonderful concert.
That was recent?
Yes, that was in June.
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing Need to Breathe September.
Who's Need to Breathe? I'm not quite
I don't even know how to
explain.
explain them. My dad, he introduced me to them. So
Okay.
they've been around for a while. I can't remember when the album that I mostly listened to came out. But they've been in my life.
Are they rock?
No.
No?
I don't even know how to describe them. I don't even know. But I remember, like, my mom and my dad both
Let me write that down and check
had
them out.
their ringtones as one of the Need to Breathe songs.
Really?
Forever. And so every time I hear that song, I think of my parents' phones going off. That aggravated the shit out of me.
That's funny.
So yeah, I've seen them before though. So I saw them a few years ago. So now we're seeing them in September again. I went to Mumford & Sons. I went to Bruno Mars a couple months ago. I've been to Hozier, Harry Styles, Niall Horan, Billie Eilish. Pop people nowadays, basically. I know.
When you see the pop band like Billie Eilish, she's got a band playing, right?
Yes, but they're very much not the center of attention whatsoever. I went to her Tulsa show, and, like, the way that the stage was lined up was, like, her band was, like, in the middle, I guess, but it's small. Like, there's not, like, this whole big setup. Like,
Sure.
the drum set is the drum set.
Mhm.
There's nothing else going on.
Right.
Guitarists are right there, but they don't have any
The focus
influence.
was on her.
Yeah,
It wasn't
100%.
like a
Yeah.
rock band.
Yeah, no,
where
not at all.
everybody's getting...
Not at all, no. The
Yeah.
focus is 100% on her. And that's basically how every other, Harry Styles is the same way, Niall's the same way. Mumford & Sons, Marcus Mumford is the main, but his two other, like, part of the band, they have, like, they're up there, you notice them, but, like, Marcus is the point,
Right.
so there is that, but, yeah, I haven't really been to a show where, like, everyone in the band is just as significant as the other.
So you've never been to, like, a real rock
No.
show like a Metallica or...
No.
You know, your dad and I went to see Metallica in 98? I think it was 98. And was that the show? Yeah, that was the show. Because we were standing in line to get inside. It was called Sandstone Amphitheater back then in Kansas City. And Jerry Cantrell was opening up for Metallica. And there's this dude riding around on a bicycle out in the parking lot. And I was like, that's Sean Kinney. That's Alice in Chains' drummer. He's like, no, dude, there's no way. I was like, I'm telling you, that is fucking Sean Kinney. Anyway, we get inside, we find our seats, and I see Sean Kinney walking inside the arena with these two other dudes. I was like, dude, that's him, and I'm going to go fucking talk to him. Let's go. So we go up there, and dude's like 6'4", by the way. Anyway, he's walking away from me. I'm 15 years old. And I was like, Sean! And he turns around, and just like an autistic kid, I was like, I really respect your work with Alice in Chains, sir. Put my hand out, and he's like, thanks, kid. I didn't have anything to sign with or anything. I was just so nervous. It was like, put my hand out, and he shook it, and I was like, oh my God, I'm never washing this hand.
Yeah.
I still haven't, actually. It's been 26 years I haven't washed it. No, but it was just funny because I had nothing to say. But,
Right.
I got to meet him. It was really cool. And then got to see Jerry. I've actually seen Jerry a couple times. I saw him at Dave's on Dixon right after Alice in Chains broke up, and the tour bus was literally parked right next to the building, and it had like ropes around it, so you come out.
Yeah.
Anyway, after the show, everybody goes outside and was hoping to like chat with Jerry or get autographs and stuff, and he came out the back, and everybody's like, Jerry, and he's like put his hand up and walked right into the bus, didn't say anything. He's like, man, it's kind of shitty because Metallica, because most bands are contracted to play 90 minutes. Metallica played 90 minutes, left. They brought out a whole acoustic set with acoustic guitars. They came out and played a 30-minute acoustic set, and like they played Nothing Else Matters, Mama Said, played several key numbers, and then they took that set away. So that's 2 hours, and then they came out and did a whole another hour encore. They played like 3.5 hours.
Wow.
And it was like, how cool. Well, say what you want about Metallica. I know, some people love them, some people hate them. Black Sabbath invented metal, but Metallica brought it into the home.
Yeah.
Like, they popularized it. I mean, the Black Album is one of the greatest albums ever. Anything they've done since then, you can debate. But they had a producer that found a way to get them on radio. And those songs, to this day, I mean, a lot of those hold up extremely well.
Yeah.
And the fact that they give so much to the fans. They play longer than they should. They spend hours afterwards meeting with fans and stuff. I've always thought that is just so cool.
Yeah.
The bands do that, because you can be a real asshole as rock stars.
Right.
But I feel like, guys like Robert Plant who are like, I don't want to play Zeppelin anymore because that's beyond, that's a different chapter in my history. It's like, that's the chapter that made you famous,
Exactly.
dude. That's what people love you for. If you refuse to play those songs, it's also bands like Collective Soul, for example, versus Pearl Jam. If you go see Collective Soul, they just do greatest hits. And that's fine, because that's, the masses want to hear. But Pearl Jam will literally play anything off any album, and it's fair game. Like, they fucking, I don't know how many albums they got out now, 13 or whatever, but you never know what they're going to play. It's a different set list every night. But I prefer that kind of approach to just playing the standards every night. Because the real fans are going to know every track on the albums, whereas the guys who just tune in, so who do you play to? The casuals or the real fans?
Right.
Play your hits,
Sure.
but don't play the same set list every night. I just feel like that'd be so boring.
I agree.
Just play the same 10, 12 songs for you. I mean, look at the Rolling Stones. They're still doing shows. They've been playing these same songs since the 60s. You know how tired you get of that shit? It's like I told Walt, because at first, when we first started playing, he wanted to keep every song we wrote. I was like, dude, listen, you're going to get sick of these. You better make sure they're damn good, because you're going to have to rehearse them, then you're going to have to listen to them 1,000 times in the studio, and then you're going to have to play them live. So you better damn well make sure they're good songs, or you are going to hate life. So you have to have some kind of threshold. But, yeah, it's wild that you haven't. Well, rock's dead in your lifetime.
It is.
There's nobody to see.
It's so unfortunate. I mean, I remember Weezer had come to the amp a couple years ago, and I didn't even process it because I feel like the last year to two, I've really just like honed in on music, especially that music. So it's like why didn't I go to that? Yeah. Yeah. Like, why did I go to that? Why didn't I go to Creed just to experience it? Yeah.
I've never seen Weezer. I'd love to see Weezer.
Yeah. I'm hoping they'll come back to the amp. Because it wasn't that long ago.
Well, they got a new album coming out this month, at the end of the month, the Gold album. So they are touring. I'll have to check the schedule, but definitely we should go see Weezer if they come around.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them. And they were a band, I don't know how much you've followed, like, their albums and stuff, like, because they were big in the 95 was when the home PC really came out, in AOL. And they were on the AOL installation disc.
Wow.
The Buddy Holly video was on there as an example of how you can watch videos on your computer. I actually heard them talking about this for the 30th anniversary, and they were like, "We didn't even know that was going to happen. Our manager just made a deal with Microsoft, and it like made us blow up."
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You know, and then of course the Blue album, which I know you love it, and I do love it too. It just got so overplayed.
Yeah.
You know, the sweater song, all that stuff. Still classics. I'm not taking away from that, but you know, they did a few albums, and then they just started experimenting. They do like a funk album, and then they do like, you know, and then they revert back to rock, and then they play around. So they have some absolute shit albums. That they tried pop, and then they did one with a complete orchestra called OK Human, which is absolutely beautiful. I'd highly recommend that one. But you know, when you put out 15, 20 albums, you gotta feel like you're stuck in some kind of a wheel. You know, you want to break out and do new things, but then that alienates your fan base.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like there's this weird relationship with the fans you gotta keep, but you also want to grow as an artist. So I don't know. I've never been a famous rock star, so I don't know what that's like. But I do love the Wheeze.
Yeah.
So who are your favorite like '90s bands? Because you grew up listening to that with your dad, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably say, just my favorite bands in general of anything before now. Weezer, Alice in Chains, Nirvana. I mean, that's what I grew up on. The Nixons are up there.
Nice.
Collective Soul is in there. Like, just all types of stuff that my dad just had planned.
I'm seeing a lot of stuff on the internet recently, both in respect to like politics, music, pretty much everything, saying like the 90s was peak.
Yeah.
Like America peaked in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, presidents getting blowjobs under the Oval Office, and like teenagers thought that was cool as shit. It's like, dude, that's my president. You know, now we're fucking getting co-opted by Israel, and can't say that, I'm gonna get fucking shot. But fighting foreign wars that we shouldn't be involved in. You know,
Exactly.
It's like the same old shit
Yes.
over and over.
Yeah.
Music sucks. Entertainment sucks.
Can't afford anything.
Yeah.
It's shit.
Oh God. I mean, if we had cell phones when I was growing up, I'd be in jail forever. I mean, thank God nothing is recorded. I'm lucky to be alive as it is. As much stupid shit we did, drinking and driving and all that kind of stuff. I mean, just hellions. I don't know. It's what was it like growing up for you? Because you grew up in the cell phone age, obviously.
Yes.
So what was it like growing up post 2000? Like going to school?
I feel like the late 2000s.
What year did you graduate?
I graduated 24.
24.
So I was born in 05. I think 2013 to me was probably where it was before that. 2005 to 2013 was pretty good. It was I feel like I had a normal childhood. Everything was fine. I would love to go back then too. It was just I feel like that was probably relatively similar to what kids grew up in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Okay.
But then, right in the mid 2010s is when everything kind of just changed in just every way, music and just everything. So being a teenager in the middle of the 2010s, it was very interesting. I don't know. My teenage years were just weird. I had COVID when I was 14, so, that was...
Guys, it's hard to believe COVID's 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so, that... I had my first year of high school right after whenever COVID started, and it was just weird. It was just... I don't know.
Did y'all do virtual?
We did virtual the end of my 8th grade year, so COVID started March of my 8th grade year. So we did virtual then, and then the beginning of my 9th grade year is when we went back, but we had to wear masks for that whole first year.
Wow.
So, it was just ridiculous. I honestly don't remember a lot of, the first 2 years of my high school, because it was very much when COVID was peak, and, I don't know.
How did you feel about COVID when it happened? Were you scared shitless, or
no.
were you
No, not at all. I was, whenever it was announced...
I'm young and healthy, and it's going to be fun.
Whenever it was announced that we were going into, spring break was going to be extended. I was like, are you serious? Like, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Right.
is it really that serious?
Right.
And then we didn't go back, and we had to be on virtual. I was fucking pissed. I hate doing online anything, because
Yeah.
I have no discipline whenever it comes to that stuff. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care about school.
Yeah.
I'm in 8th grade.
Yeah.
At home, it was just ridiculous. And then
Yeah.
it was just like, I thought it was ridiculous. And, my mom, I wanted to see my friends. She's like, not happening. Like, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So you weren't that afraid of it?
No. I was like, obviously I didn't want to be around people necessarily. I didn't want to be in crowds, but like, I was not afraid to go see my friends. I wasn't afraid to see my family. I was just like, why is this so much crazier than any other virus that we've had? Like, it's just whatever. I didn't care for it. I really don't remember, March to whenever we went back to school. Like, all I remember was literally being in my room every day, playing video games. That's what I did all day.
So you're a gamer?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, at that time I was probably playing Fortnite.
All right.
So, I don't really know. But, I mean, it was just, it was an odd time.
It was an introvert's dream.
Correct.
Because I'm not a big fan of people, especially
I
those
wasn't
that I'm
either. Like,
forced
I'm
to
not.
be around.
Yeah.
So, like, working from home, I only left, so for the 2 years we worked from home for 2 years when I was at prior corporation. I don't like naming names on stuff, but I went to 16 General, was the only store I went to for 2 years. Like, the only place I went to, that and my parents. Julia did all the grocery shopping and stuff, and, like, I literally got to know the people at 16 General so well, because I was like, that's where I got my beer and tobacco, and like, it was the only place I went, and I didn't have to see people, I didn't have to fucking play the game, it's like, I got my shit done, I got my work done.
Right.
But I loved working from home.
I think, if it
But
were to
I also
happen
can
right
see
now.
how that's damaging to, like, teenagers.
A teenager, yes.
Yeah.
Like,
When
I
you're-
think if that situation were to happen right now, I'd be perfectly fine with it. Because, like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind working from home at all. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. But whenever you're 14 years old and you're being forced to do, multiple
It's a very
hours
critical
a
time
day.
in your development.
Yeah,
You need to be
online
social,
doing Zoom
yeah.
classes and all. I distinctly remember thinking, this is fucking bullshit, and I wouldn't join Zoom classes or whatever, because I was
Really?
like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? They're
Yeah.
not teaching us anything. Gym on Zoom? Are you joking? Are you joking?
What is everybody doing? Pushing? Like, what?
I didn't participate. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, this is a joke. This is a joke.
Did
Like,
you ever have anybody do any crazy fucked up shit on video? Like,
no.
No,
I mean,
right.
I didn't join a lot of them. So,
Right.
I mean, it was just like, I obviously got my work done. I mean, I had all A's and B's, but it was just like, it was such busy work. It was,
Yeah.
it was nothing that would make you learn. It was just
Yeah.
shit. Teachers panicking to figure out what they can make us do,
Right.
and it's just like, waste of my time.
how do you feel about the public school system overall?
I dislike it strongly.
Now, it obviously has
specifically-
its benefits, and my kids
Correct.
are homeschooled, and they, once they hit 7th grade, they have to have at least 2 classes, because I want them to have that experience.
Yes. Yes, I definitely think like the social aspect,
Yeah.
definitely there. Like, I think it's just there's such like a love-hate relationship with how I feel about it.
Yeah.
It's so complicated to me. I just think it's very much, it needs to be changed in so many aspects, like
Yeah.
the curriculum that we're learning,
Mm-hmm.
so much unnecessary things for what? Like, for what?
Yeah.
There's just, and just like certain required classes, and I mean, I don't know. The last 2 years of my high school, I was in college, so I had that experience, which I liked way more than high school, because I had a lot more freedom, and it was just like,
Where'd you go to college?
NWAC.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I mean, I went Monday through Thursday. We were supposed to go to Rogers on Fridays to do like homework and shit, like the whole school day length. And I was like, hell no. So everyone who did that concurrent program, we all just stayed home on Friday, because it's like, why? I'm
Yeah.
doing everything I need to do.
Yeah.
I had all A's and B's. It was great. Classes, were an hour and 15 minutes. We all hung out. We all went to Sam's after after class to go get pizza, and it was just like, it was so chill.
Sam's Pizza? The
Yes.
cafe pizza?
Yes. It was
Oh my
right
God,
across
that
the
pizza's
street.
so damn good.
It's so good and cheap. Like, so that was our lunch
And affordable,
every day.
yeah.
So, I mean, that
It's
was...
funny you say that.
Yeah, that was a great time. Like, I loved doing that with the people that I was with, and it was just like, I remember telling my brother and telling all my friends, I was like, if you can do this program, do it.
Yeah.
Like, it is so, you know, the high school paid for all of it. You get a lot of your time. Like, it saves time, money, all the things. All the things. My brother didn't do it. Pissed me the fuck off, but it doesn't matter. But, like, I remember saying, like, this is so much better than high school. This
Yeah.
is so much better than whatever I was in. And it's just like, I don't know. I just think it just needs a complete something.
Overhaul.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of our governor, but she's done a few things I've really liked. The first thing was getting rid of the concealed permit carry, because I think if you have a Second Amendment, you shouldn't have to pay a fee to get a concealed carry when you can literally open carry anyway. Not that it's a smart idea. People don't need to be walking around with visible guns.
Yeah.
It unsettles people, but like it always annoyed me that I had to pay $50 every 5 years to get my concealed permit carry. She did away with that. And the other thing I like about her is that she started funding homeschooling. So like Julia now gets her curriculum paid for, like because the curriculums that she
And that's
chooses
great.
are expensive. And so they're paying for that. They're paying for Theo to do an apprenticeship
Awesome.
at 62 Cycles to learn how to work on dirt bikes, which learning trades is the future.
Yes.
You know, my generation
100%.
was told the only way to make it in life is to go to college.
Yes, and that's
then
not true anymore.
Get into a job that you're going to fucking hate forever,
Yep.
get money trapped where you can't do anything else. And there's a whole generation of us that went to college, got into jobs that, you know, we would rather not be doing, but then you make a certain amount of money. And, you know, I know your dad's been in this position too in the car industry. You know, you get into something
Yeah.
and you make an X amount and you have a family to feed. And, you know, what do? You got to
Exactly.
just, you
What do
got
you
to
do?
push through it.
Yeah.
But with the youth and with your generation, I feel like we really need to be pushing, pushing what you love. Do something you enjoy.
Correct.
If you can, you know, hopefully make money at it.
I mean, yeah, like, I just feel like the public school system now, especially high school, is just completely setting us up for failure. Like,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's,
how many kids go to school and they don't even know what major they want to be?
yeah,
like, they just
I mean, it's just,
fuck
and, you
around
know,
and-
high school kids nowadays don't give a damn about anything that's going on. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember I was surrounded by people who just never tried, ever. And the reason they didn't try is because they didn't have to, because the teachers would just let them pass. And the whole thing about...
Was that a COVID thing or
No, just
just
people. Like,
Really?
they just didn't care. And it's just like, I understand that it's bullshit, but, like, still do it. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Right.
you know, the whole thing with, you know, schools not really allowing for people to be held back anymore. Like, I think that's ridiculous.
really?
Yes.
They don't
I-
do that anymore?
No.
Interesting.
Not nearly as much as they used to. I mean,
Right.
I'm pretty sure there was something that was passed or some type of thing where it's like they have to get through. Whether it's like, you know, because it looks bad on the school
Sure,
itself or
sure.
whatever. But it's like you're pushing people through that are not ready for the next level
Yeah.
at all. But you want to do that because your school will look bad if you
Is
don't.
there too much emphasis on test scores?
Yes, there's a lot of emphasis on test scores, but it's also just a matter of fact of like people just don't try. Like there's
Right.
just there's no discipline because it's like, you know, teachers will sit here and threaten to give you zeros on everything, but you'll still pass. And they know that. The people who don't
Really?
try know that they'll still pass. Or they can do everything last minute and the teacher will still give them credit. So they're like, whatever, I'm going to do the bare minimum. I know I'll still pass, so it doesn't matter.
Did you have any teachers that you really loved?
Yes.
Because I had some amazing teachers. Like, some of them were trash, but, like,
Yeah.
I had some people that, to
It's
this
been a
day,
while.
really are special to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was my 9th grade English teacher. Her name was Miss Grigsby. I loved her. I've always been the teacher's pet, just
Really?
throughout my entire school career.
Were
Yes.
you the one bringing the apple in and setting it on the desk in the morning?
I mean, not necessarily, but I always did my work, always on time. Like I was just very much a good student. Everyone loved me. You know, like all teachers loved me.
Right.
She was great. I remember Like, being in her class specifically, we weren't too close, but after I left her class, she just became, like, a lot of a bigger person in my life. And, like
a mentor?
Kind of. Like, every Thursday I'd go in there, like, after 9th grade, I'd go in there and eat lunch with her. And, like, I remember whenever I went to college and I had, you know, my first English essay, I took it to her and I was like, I'm scared, like, I don't know what to do, help me. And she did. So that was,
Are you a good writer? Can you write essays well?
I am a good writer, surprisingly. I don't like writing, but I'm good at it.
Yeah.
And then there was Miss Brown. She was my 10th grade history teacher. She was just... I ended up working for her at a farm afterwards. But
I mean, I worked at a blueberry factory for one of my teachers in the summer.
I did work at a blueberry place too. But yeah, she was just really cool, really just like understanding, and she taught well, and I liked that. And then there was Mr. Lawton, my second semester of college. He was my English teacher. He just really liked me for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't speak much in that class, but I just did my work, and he liked me a lot. And I remember him like nominating me for like the Outstanding Something Award.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And I ended up getting that, which I didn't even... He did it anonymously, and I wasn't even in his class at the time that he nominated me for it. So I was really confused. I was like, who nominated me for this, and why do I have it? And then I ended up going to the ceremony, and he's like, did you know it was me? And I was like, no, because like we didn't even have like a crazy relationship.
Yeah. But
I knew that he liked me because I, you know, am one of the only people that actually turn in my work on time and try, and all of these things. Like, that just doesn't exist anymore. Like, and that's so unfortunate, but it's like I said, it's because people enable it.
Well, it's funny. I'll tell a quick story. When I was in college, I was in the journalism program. I was getting my degree in advertising and public relations, which is...
Yeah.
It sounded good at the time, but if you want those kind of jobs, they're not Northwest Arkansas.
Right.
You know, so... But that really fascinated me, and I did want to get into that world. But I became an editor for the Arkansas Traveler, and... it's one of those things where you end up grading papers for some classes and stuff.
Yeah.
And these basketball players would either not turn in stuff, or they would turn in some bullshit.
Yes.
And so I'd fail them. And then the teacher, you know, who I was under would come by and be like, you can't do that.
Exactly.
You've got to pass them.
Exactly.
Because they're sports players.
Exactly.
And so they really don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
And that really pissed me off. It's like, man, I get these guys are talented athletes, but why is it they just get to fucking coast and not... And back then, dude, car dealerships were giving them free cars to drive. I mean, being a college sports star has got to be one of the greatest fucking things on the planet.
I'm sure.
I mean, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's
the emphasis, and don't get me wrong, I love NFL football. Like, I love the strategy of it. But you know, it's bread and circuses. And you look at Rome, right? Like, it's all distraction. We're doing all this evil, fucked up shit with the government over here, right? Wear somebody else's name on your back. Look at stats. Follow these, you know, people. And you can do both. Like, you can enjoy your sports and pay attention to politics or whatever. But most people don't. Most people don't pay attention to anything other than entertainment. Like, you're in front of a TV screen watching your latest show, or watching sports, or watching all these things, and you have no idea what's going on in the world.
correct.
We'll get back to what you were talking about in a second, but I was talking about that song "Go Away" by Weezer. Like, just outside, like, I can't get it out of my head. It drives me nuts. It's like I dream about it. Like, I wake up. And it's a good song. Like, especially if I write a song like an original or something, and I can't get it out of my head. I'm like, that's a banger. I know it's a good one. But for some reason, that damn song is so catchy.
It is.
I was hoping when we played it, it would get it out of my system and stuff, but no, it's still in my head.
It feels so familiar, but it's like, where have I heard this?
Yeah.
But it's like, it feels very familiar, like very like,
And it's such a great duet.
Yes.
Like, it's just a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were getting ready to get into some heavier shit. What were we getting ready to jump into? We were talking about public schools, people not paying attention to politics. Where did you want to go with that? I'll let you take over the...
I mean, there's just like... One of my biggest pet peeves is whenever people who are not, like, paying attention to politics or not keeping up with that stuff have opinions about it.
Right.
It's like, if you don't know what's going on right now,
Right.
don't talk about it. Like,
Right.
and I know people like this, and it's just
I do too.
I refuse to even
That
go into
that
it.
doesn't mean that the two people paying attention aren't going to have disagreements, but
Right.
at least they're
like,
following.
yes, like, are aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you are not keeping up with the current updates, or you know, the last update you got was a couple years ago, you're invalid.
Yeah.
Like, things change so fast. They change so fast. And it's just like,
Yes.
I refuse to have conversations with people like that who are so stuck. I'm like, this is what's happening. Like, this is what's going on. It's like, no, you don't know what's going on.
Well, there's a type of person who is set in their belief system, and they will be set, especially boomers.
Yes.
This is what I believe, and no matter what influence or evidence you show me,
Yeah.
will I change my mind on
100%.
this. You know,
100%.
I was on the Trump train hard, and it wasn't even because I love Trump so much. In fact, I couldn't stand Trump back when the Apprentice days, but I wanted the system to be wrecked. I wanted this government to fucking crumble under him. I wanted him to shake out the deep state. I wanted him to fucking wreck Washington. And then now it's just more of the fucking same. It's just, okay. One of the things that I loved about him was he couldn't be bought. I'm like, how do you buy a millionaire?
Yes, and that's what a lot of Trump supporters say.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the reason
You can't buy Trump. That's why they hate Trump. You can't
Yes.
control him. Well,
Here we
I
are.
was wrong.
Yes.
Everybody's got a price.
Yes.
And I was talking to somebody about this the other day. He's actually Armenian. And this really kind of shook me to my core. And he was like, no, we we were talking about running for office and how easy it is to get corrupted.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, let's just say you're trying to change the world, and somebody sends you a picture of your kids on the playground and says, you vote for this, or...
Right.
And he was like, well, if you're running for public office, that needs to be a higher duty than your children. And I'm like, bro, that's a hard stance to take.
Very.
But at the same time, like, how many times do you, like, Kash Patel is a great example of this. Kash Patel was on Tim Pool, he was on Crowd, he was on every fucking podcast you could throw a stick at. We're going to get the Epstein files, we're going to fucking release these names, we're going to do this. And then as soon as he gets into office, it's like, what Epstein files? Yep. There's no, we don't have any. Dan Bongino,
and
same dude.
That's such a problem, I feel like, now in today's politics, is so many politicians promise things, and then whenever they are actually voted in or put into power, they're like, no.
It's their second term. The first term, they
Right.
play games.
Yeah.
Like, they'll play the game.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like Obama played it pretty normal his first term, and then his second term, he just went wildly progressive. Trump's first term, played it pretty sick. Of course, he was also fighting tons of allegations and shit. Still got a lot done, but then in the second term, it was just like, I'm Israeli now, war with Iran. It's like, you literally...
Promised no wars. He promised no wars.
Well, a lot of people said he promised the Epstein files, which he didn't. In fact, he got asked about that straight up, and he's like, I don't know about the Epstein files, because there's a lot of innocent people in there. We don't want to ruin their lives. It was more Kash Patel, Dan Bongino that was talking about that stuff. But at the same time, the politicians like to use the phrase, no one is above the law, which is a fucking lie. You are
Correct.
Absolutely above the law if
100%.
you make above this amount of money or you are elected to an office.
100%.
And it's fucking disgusting. And I
Yep.
think over the last 10 years, like, I'll never vote again. I will never vote again, because even if my vote did matter, which I don't think it does,
Right.
the person I elect can be lying to me and completely do an about face.
100%.
He did 100% run on no new wars. That was his fucking,
that
other
was
than
one
Make
of the
America
driving
Great
factors,
Again,
yeah.
that was his slogan. No
Yeah.
new wars, no forever wars. How do you end this war with Iran? You don't. It's a forever war unless you go and nuke their infrastructure and make those people suffer. And that's against the Geneva Convention. We're not going to do that. And if we did, it would start a larger... Then get the fuck out. Like, there is no off-ramp.
Yeah.
Where's the off-ramp to these things?
Yeah.
You know? And it just makes me feel like such a fucking idiot. And there's things I like about Trump, legitimately. But, I've never thought of him as, like, necessarily presidential, but when you vote like him or Kamala, to me was, she can't string two sentences together. And I believed like he wanted no new wars. I believe that's something that he wanted. But I believe 100% he's been compromised. I think the Charlie Kirk case has been compromised. And if you say anything to people who support the narrative, the Charlie Kirk narrative, or the Tyler Robinson narrative, like people hate Candace Owens. That are like hard right, like Candace Owens is a lying bitch, and it's
and
like,
that drives me crazy.
And I'll ask these people, I'll say, "Have you ever listened to Candace show?" No, but I've seen the clips.
That part.
Okay, so you told me yesterday that the Democrats use clips and just use selective clips to make Republicans look bad, yet it's okay when your side does it. It's like, these people don't want to learn. They don't want to educate themselves.
1000%.
I just operate on the assumption that I know nothing.
Yes.
And the older I get, the more open I am to being an idiot.
100%. And I feel like especially older people nowadays too, they're so set on like, this is what's going on. And I have always said, anything can happen. Anything is possible.
Sure.
I've always said that. You know nothing. I always say that to anyone I'm talking to. We know nothing.
No.
Nothing.
We know, we're told, and
Yes.
you've heard the term fog of war. There's literal misinformation going out. Now,
everywhere.
I don't have the intelligence that Trump has. Maybe they are building a fucking nuclear weapon and about to attack over the world, but he's not explaining it well. He's not convincing us very well. It's like the Epstein files. Trump's added, the first thing that really just pissed me off was when somebody asked him, he loves to be filmed in the Oval Office. Somebody was asking him about the Epstein files, and he goes, "Are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein, that creep? Like, get a life." And it's like, bro, like, you're talking to everybody who fucking voted you in, who wanted justice on this shit, and now you're treating us like assholes?
Yes.
And it really pissed me off.
And I feel like he's done that with a lot of topics. Jeffrey Epstein and affordable housing and wars and just everything that he promised that he would fix. He hasn't, and people are confronting him about it. And he's like, why are we talking about this?
Yeah.
We need to focus on Iran, and they're the problem, and all of this. I'm like, you're distracting everybody from everything that they voted you in for.
Yeah.
I didn't vote last year because I wanted to see what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I've never liked Trump. I've always been vocal about never liking him. Literally since I was early teens.
That's fair.
This last election, I started to kind of like him more because of what he was saying.
Well,
and
2024 was a powerful, like, he got an assassination attempt at Butler, right? And so you had that sympathy vote.
Which, personally, for me, that didn't work. Because I was like, I personally thought that was set up. I think that was...
Do you still believe that?
Yeah. I think that the government, he, like his administration, whatever the government, set that up to get those sympathy votes.
You think Trump personally knew about it, or do you think it was people? So I don't think Trump...
Either.
I'll use this example. Kansas City Chiefs. The fucking refs rigged their fucking season all goddamn year long to get them in the Super Bowl. I don't think the coaches and players knew it.
Yeah.
I think they were innocent in that, but the refs in the NFL were doing it to get the narrative that the Chiefs, right? And you had Taylor Swift.
I could 100% get behind that theory.
I don't think Trump
didn't
knew
know
anything about it,
but I think
there was definitely some inside shit going on.
Yes, of some government, something to do.
They cremated the guy 2 days after the shot. Why?
Yeah, and let's just steer that into the Charlie Kirk thing. It's just like, it's all... Why is this happening, and why are things playing out the way that they are?
Do you think Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk? What percentage? I would say 0.
Yeah.
There's
100%.
No way that kid killed.
No way.
And the narrative came out immediately. He was dating a transgender furry.
Yes.
It was so convenient, right?
Yes, everything was so convenient. And it's just like, there's no fucking way. Like, I watched the video the day it came out. I was up to date with everything that was happening the second it started.
Did you see him get shot?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, holy fucking shit.
Literally, the live stream was still going when I found out. Like, I was on X, Charlie Kirk shot, and I was like, isn't he live streaming this? So I go to the live stream, rewind it, boom. It's like, holy shit. Same thing happened at Butler. We were about to do a podcast the day of the Butler shooting, and my buddy Matt Thomas was on the way over here, and he calls me and he goes, hey, I can't remember who it was he knew. Somebody was out with the Butler rally that he knew, and it called him. It was like, Trump just got shot. He's like, can you find anything on this? I was like, I'm going
Yeah,
to
I
Google.
remember that day too.
Yeah, I'm looking and there's no news on it, and I was like, oh shit, he's live streaming this. So I just went to the live stream and rewound it 2 minutes and saw the fucking thing go down. Like, we're in such a polarized world that, like, I grew up hearing about assassinations of Kennedy and Martin Luther King that happened in the 60s.
Right.
And, you know, Reagan had an attempt, I think it was in 80, I think it was before I was born, maybe around that time. Obviously survived, but, like, we just haven't lived in this kind of a... We hate each other so much.
Yes.
We're so tribal. We have more in common than we really know, but everybody's got to have their tribe and be right, you know, rather than just maybe listen, you know, and hear new things. But there's this camp of hard right people who are demonizing Candace.
Yes.
And without ever having listened to her show. And I
mean,
really hope she debates this dude, this Andrew Wilson guy, or whoever it is, on the topic, because I want her to own this motherfucker. TPUSA is evil, I believe. I think Charlie knew it.
Yes.
I think he saw it coming.
Yes.
And I think Erica was planted in front of him.
Yes.
I think she was CIA all along. She was a honeypot. And you put a beautiful woman who has all of your values, the perfect woman just steps right in front of your path. Yeah. I mean, come on.
And it was just so convenient with everything before they got together. The fact, you know, her relations with people of government and just like all these things.
She's in CIA training videos at Fort Huachuca
yeah.
that she claims to have never heard of.
None of it's right. I think 1,000% it was a setup.
Do you think they take Tyler Robinson down? Or do you think he gets off? If it goes to trial, which it probably will.
I really don't know. I think he will go down just because of how corrupt shit is.
Yeah.
When in reality.
And if he does, we have lost.
Yeah, 100%.
We have
I mean,
lost.
I think we're already basically there.
I think he was involved tangentially, like on the outside, like he was dealing with government agents, and they were like, "Hey, you need to be here at this time, so we can place you at the scene."
Yeah.
But then, like, the cameras go off after he supposedly goes up there, and then a screwdriver appears, and like.
And why is Netanyahu calling the second he finds out that Charlie's shot?
Isn't that a little?
Why is this relevant?
What would you call that? A little too eager.
Yes.
To deny.
Yes, and why, as the Prime Minister of Israel or whatever the fuck, are you worried about a podcaster who's doing a college tour?
Right.
Why are you worried about him?
But people deny these text messages exist, but they're real. He says, I can no longer support the Israel cause.
Yes.
They're bullies. They're threatening me. He felt like he was about to get shot, or well, he didn't say shot, but he said he thought he was going to be killed.
Something was happening, yeah.
But the narrative is that Candace was always in love with Charlie, and she's jealous of Erica, and so she's trying to burn it to the ground. I felt like it was very much a brotherly, sisterly
100%.
relationship.
I mean, whenever they were at their peak, because I never followed Candace or Charlie before this happened. Like, I just didn't care for it, and at that point, I just wasn't really huge into politics. But whenever that did happen with Charlie, I was like, what the fuck? You know, like, what is happening right now? And then, you know, the whole narrative originally, a liberal is killing Charlie, whatever. And I'm like, obviously that isn't right. Not okay. And I would speak that I was like, I didn't agree with a lot of Charlie said, but I was like, it doesn't matter.
He was a little too religious for me, but I felt like he had a good heart. He was coming from a good place.
Yes, and I don't...
He wasn't a grifter.
Correct. Like, if he would have run for president, I think he would be a better candidate than Trump. Like, I think he believed and he spoke out about a lot of good.
He was a good dude.
Yes.
I feel like he was a little radical right for my taste.
A little bit, yes. You know, and that's why I didn't pay attention to it.
That doesn't mean I don't like him. I still respect. You can respect people with differing views.
Correct.
As long as you both are willing to listen.
Correct. And so I respected him. I was just like, whatever, I don't care. Whenever he got assassinated, I was like, this is ridiculous and something isn't right. Dove into that whole thing. I started watching Candace at that point because she was so honed in on that shit, and I was like, I want to see what she has to say.
Yes.
So I started watching her, and I was like, yeah.
I am like a 1980s mom watching soap operas when Candace comes on, and she usually comes on about the time I'm heading home from work, so I'm just like, get my popcorn out.
Yeah.
What's Candace got today?
And she's so confrontational, and I love it. She's
well,
so
and people
just, like,
say she's making all these claims. She hasn't actually made claims necessarily. She's made a few, but mostly she's just asking questions.
Yeah.
Which is no longer allowed. And it's a great quote in Game of Thrones. You don't cut out a man's tongue because you want to silence him. It's because you're afraid of what he has to say. Right? And Candace has been demonized. Tucker Carlson's been demonized.
Yes.
Tell me why. Okay, so Trump brought together the greatest coalition of, like, superheroes I've ever seen in 2024. He got the libertarians. I mean, he got RFK, right? He got so many. He got the Rogan vote. He got that whole, and a lot of that, you had the Butler thing. You had all this false prosecutions of the Russia gate. And you had so many things just come together. And Kamala was an idiot. But Trump really had momentum.
A lot.
But then you fast forward. Okay, let's list the names within a year and a half of him being in office who got him elected, who are now dissenters. Alex Jones, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, people the right loved. These were their darlings, and these all got him elected. Is it a coincidence that literally almost everybody that got him elected has now turned, other than Fox News and Sean Hannity?
Right.
I mean, Tucker, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, Candace
100%.
was MAGA all the way.
100%. And I was not about that personally, so I didn't care.
Sure.
Like, whatever was going on. There were some things that Candace or Charlie, whatever, would say, and I was like, yeah, that's reasonable. But I didn't like any of them. I didn't, like, hate any of them besides Trump. I always just have never had a good feeling about him. And
well, he is a megalomaniac.
Nowadays, it's like, if, in my opinion, if you still wholeheartedly support Trump, you're wrong. And there's no, like, before all of this has happened, before the election, everything, like, if you support him, I was like, whatever. I don't think that you're necessarily the smartest person in the world, but I'm not going to sit here and say that you're, this
but
or that.
But as somebody like me who grew up with grandparents that grew up, that were born in the 40s and 50s, we've become a kind of a pussified nation.
Yeah.
And I just loved the alphaness of Trump. I was like, I would rather have this.
A lot of people do, yeah.
And that was part of my reasoning, was like, I'd rather have this fucking alpha male who's a bit of an egomaniac, I get it, but he's fucking somebody that America's known. I mean, he was in Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
He's been in American consciousness all these years. I'd rather have a tough guy than an overly empathetic person that's weak and just, you see what I'm saying. Like, we've become overly pussified. We're sensitive about everything. Kids have meltdowns. They can't even go to school now because their feelings are hurt or because they're feeling depressed. This was not the case when I grew up.
Right.
You fucking powered through and you did your job. And I love that about Trump. It's like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to get through it. And that's why it feels like such a betrayal, because you do get behind a thing, and I did get behind it.
Yeah.
And I was saying, there are still things I do like about Trump, and there's certain things he's done that I do like still. I don't think anybody's black and they're all bad or all good. I can acknowledge things I still like about him. But this Iranian thing is just nuts to me. And there's no explanation for it.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just over there, and as somebody who's got a 16-year-old boy, ain't no fucking way my kid's dying for Israel.
Israel. Yep. Fuck no.
I mean,
absolutely not.
And if you say that, you're anti-Semitic. They've got you in a trap. It's just like you're racist, right? And that's another thing I loved about Trump, was the anti-woke stuff, because I hated the woke shit. And he's like, anything you say is racist.
Yeah.
If you bring up criminal statistics, you're racist. If you do this, you're racist. Now you're anti-Semitic if you bring up anything. If you point out who owns Hollywood or who owns the porn industry, you're anti-Semitic. Well, it's a fact.
Yeah.
These people are, okay, let's just not use the term Jews. Let's say Zionists. Because Zionist is a political organization that combines Christians and Jews, who should not have anything to do with one another.
Yeah.
Jews killed Jesus, and a lot of Jewish people believe he's burning in hell for eternity. Right? Where at least, like, and I'm not super educated on Islam. I've not read the Quran. I don't know this. But at least they believe he was a prophet. Mm-hmm. they've got some radical fucking shit, but I know there's more than one faction of Islam. They're not all psychotic terrorists, I don't believe, but I don't know a lot of them to ask them. But we're certainly, in my opinion, the most scary time we've ever been in.
100%. Very uncertain. And I mean, it's just like...
And as somebody with boys who are of fighting age, I am terrified.
Yeah.
Not to mention, why do we even need fossil fuel anymore? We should have fucking flying cars and electric and nuclear power. But you think about it, greed, to me, is the most awful of the deadly sins.
Yeah.
It trumps them all. Because if you did get away from fossil fuels, how many billionaires would go out of business? All these gas people, right? All these manufacturers of vehicles. I mean, it would really... But, I mean, think about when the vehicle came out, the car. I mean, you had all the horse and buggy people, the dung collectors, you know, they're all put out of a job. That's progress.
Right.
But I feel like we're holding on to fossil fuels way longer than we should have. You've probably heard about the stories of guys who have invented cars that can run on water for 400 miles. And they're all dead.
Yes.
They all end up dead.
Yes. I truly believe that the government does not want good for us.
No.
I truly believe
that's
that
the last thing
they want to keep us
They're self-interested.
Stuck. Yes.
And they're
they
bought
want
and paid
power.
for.
Yes, they
Have
just
you ever
want
seen
power.
the show House of Cards?
No.
I don't know if I'd recommend it, but both Clinton and Obama said it was the most accurate portrayal of Washington on the screen. And so Max and I watched the first 2 seasons, and we were both so disgusted, like just felt gross.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I can't handle this, because this is really the way it is. You have these NGOs, these non-government operatives, who can just pay you millions to vote for something. Like, they lie to their constituents to get in office, and then fuck the constituents. We don't care about them anymore. We care about who's paying us now.
Yeah.
So they use the voter to get in, and then they get rich off the people who control them. And it's sick, and I don't know how to fix it.
Exactly. What can you do?
Nothing. Unless you, like, Thomas Jefferson said we need a revolution every 20 years.
Yes. And I really do think that that's coming soon. But at the same time...
But how do you coordinate?
Exactly. At the same time, how?
Because you're being spied on.
Yep.
Everything. I mean, fuck. I'm probably going to get ads for something I mentioned in this pod today that I've never said before on my phone, because it's always listening.
Yeah.
You know? It is a spy network. It is... It feels very hopeless to me right now.
Yeah. 100%. And I mean, me and Ethan, my cousin, we talk about this a lot too, and it's just like, what can you do? I mean, it's just like, there should be a revolution. This is the type of government that George Washington specifically said.
Oh, he'd be rolling.
Yeah. Like, don't, I mean, but it's
we
like...
went to war over fucking, like, representation.
Yeah.
And
and now,
in the harbor.
none of that fucking matters anymore. Like, everything that the Constitution stands for, and just everything that the government was created for, and just all this, it doesn't matter anymore. And it's just become its own evil thing.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's disgusting, and it's just like, whenever I really think about it, it just makes me so upset, and it's just like, the fact that we literally have no power because these people are so powerful.
Well, our power is our vote, right?
Right.
But our vote means nothing.
The votes are fucking...
Even if it's not rigged, like I said,
is.
the person you vote for is going to change and going to do whatever the fuck they want. I mean, look at Thomas Massey. Thomas Massey, to me, is one of the only people with integrity in all of Washington. And Trump bought him out. Bought his election and AIPAC. And they even bragged about it. We beat Thomas Massey. I mean, he was the only one calling for transparency with the Epstein files. He's been the only one clamoring against the national debt. And Trump just bought him out. Paid more. It was the most expensive primary ever to get rid of this guy. So even the good ones, let's say you're not corrupted by threats or money, you can still be bought out.
Yeah.
I mean... How could a good person, a person with good moral intent, make it in Washington?
You can't.
You can't?
Yeah.
It's rigged against a good person.
100%. And that's just like, I really have absolutely zero clue about what the next 10 years look like. I just have no...
Marjorie Taylor Greene's another one. She was one of the most avid Trump supporters. And say what you will about her, but, like, she was Trump train all the way. She's turned. I've already mentioned Alex Jones, which Alex Jones helped him.
It's also the fact that whoever turns against Trump, it's so bizarre and disgusting and unprofessional to me how he calls out every single one of them the way that he does. Why are you are the president of the United States, and you're sitting here tweeting about all these people that dislike you and saying disgusting things about them for what?
That's who Trump's always been, though.
I know, but it's like, that's crazy to me. Like, as a professional, as the leader of this entire country, have professionalism. I mean, you're supposed to be used to the fact that people don't like you, that people are going to talk shit about you, that people are going to go against you. Like, this is what you sign up for in any position of leadership at all. And it's like, have some professionalism. If people come out against you, Candace Owens, like, anybody.
Yeah.
Why? It's like, it literally just reminds me of, like, a child. Like, just whenever you're tweeting about how ugly Candace is. That's middle school
Brigitte
behavior.
Macron was more attractive than Candace, and it's not even close. It's like, bro, come on.
Yeah, like, are you fucking joking me? Like, that's...
Like, Brigitte Macron is a crone. Like, Candace Owens, I don't think she's the hottest babe on the planet, but she's an attractive young lady. I mean, you know, and Brigitte Macron, it looks like the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. I mean, come on. You're lying.
Literally.
You know?
And that's
he's always been bombastic, and that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. He's funny a lot of the times. He's joking, and he's trolling, and he's trying to piss people off. I get that. It's the broken promises and the lack of explanation. Like the Epstein files, nobody's given us any explanation, and then J.D. Vance went on Rogan a few weeks ago, and Rogan was not letting it go.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this, but J.D. Vance was like, here's what I really think it was. He said in 2009, when Epstein originally got arrested, he said the scope of the investigation was very narrow. They were only looking to get him on basically engaging in sex with minors. That was the scope of the investigation. And then the lead prosecutor was told by somebody, hey, this guy's intel. He's intelligence. He's above our pay grade. Take it easy. So he said, I don't think there's a ton of widespread evidence to be found because the scope of the search was so narrow. And then after 2009, he's obviously being watched, so there's not going to be... And like, that makes sense. They were trying to protect him all along, so there's not going to be a ton of evidence.
Yeah.
And if there was, it's probably been destroyed by now.
Right.
And look what happened when those files did get released. I don't know what the hell's true in those files. They're talking about eating... or like infusing children's blood. They're talking about scaring children to the point of their adrenaline going off so they can get their adrenochrome. I mean, is that true? I don't know. Like, there's some fucked up shit in those files.
And it's like, again, like I said, the way that I think is anything is possible. I wouldn't put it past anyone. I wouldn't put anything past anyone in the government.
Well, the attitude that bothers me about people who are like staunchly entrenched in their beliefs is that they just won't even hear the argument.
Right.
It's like, just listen to Candace's, like, her questions.
Yeah.
No. Because Candace is an evil, hateful bitch who was spurned by Charlie, and it's like, that's not even true.
Yeah.
Like, they were both together on tour, single, and each found like, that doesn't, to me, sound like a spurned lover. And, I mean, I think Candace is one of the most intelligent people out there. And Erica accused her of using the Charlie thing to gain a name and a reputation.
Yeah.
And Candace had a great comeback. She was like, I was already a name. I was already one of the top 5 podcasters in the world before this happened. I didn't need to use this. And I'm not selling merch.
Yes.
And Erica's bragging 6 days later about how many fucking shirts they sold. Like... regardless of whether you not think Tyler Robinson did it, the way Erica has behaved,
psychotic,
has been
unbelievable.
It's been distasteful, to say the least.
It's unbelievable.
Now, when his funeral happened, like, and they televised all that, and, like, it was a big TPUSA/Trump rally, it was like, okay, they're trying to honor, like, I didn't think much about it at the time, but then the behaviors afterwards.
Hell no, I knew from the second shit started going on, I knew something was up with Erica. Just the way that she was acting, and then just how they took it and rolled with it and made it this huge thing. Who does that? As a wife, as that being the father of your children, as this being the love of your life. Are you fucking serious? Like, if I lost anybody in my family, and I'm not even a mother yet, but if I lost anyone in my family, and I had that title, you know, being in the public eye or whatever, there's no way that I would be able to go out there and act the way that she did.
Yeah.
And put on all this sparkle and have this crazy shows going on and smiling at the crowd and, like, being so blessed to be here and all that. Are you kidding me? My husband just died.
I can buy the funeral. Like I said, I can buy her saying, hey, I'm going to put it together for this funeral to honor Charlie. It's mostly after that, like, the Zoom calls where she's talking about how much merch they've sold and...
No, she has to step up and be the CEO. This is her responsibility. This is what Charlie would want her to do.
Nobody even heard of her before. I didn't even know he was married.
I think it's just bullshit. I just think it's bullshit. And I think all of it was rigged. I don't know necessarily for what reason. Maybe because people were following him. Like, he was gaining a huge following to the point where the government saw him as a threat. Or if, Erica wanted to take
Israel saw
over.
him as a threat because and I'm probably going to get fucking kirked for this, but he says in his text messages, I can no longer support the Israel cause, and that doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic. I'm sure the people of Israel are fantastic, just like a lot of Americans are fantastic. I saw a great meme during the World Cup where it was all these people from different countries enjoying the World Cup, and it was like, oh, it seems like the world can get together and love each other when our politicians aren't involved.
Right.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And that's the thing that drives me nuts, is that, like, and online doesn't help because people want to get behind a keyboard and they want to get hateful and be divisive and stuff, and I'm not into all that. Like, I had my day.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I've stayed offline a lot whenever it comes to, like, arguing with people or whatever. There are moments where I have that to the point where I just get so upset to where I'll start sharing stuff myself, but, like, I won't get into arguments in the comments of whatever.
Yeah, it's unhealthy.
It's just, and it's just so unnecessary. Is. Like, why are we having this conversation?
I had to make a rule I can't drink in Facebook anymore. I get, like, I'm looking in there like, come on!
That's hilarious.
I wake up every morning, I'm like, delete. Hopefully nobody saw that.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I'm not responsible enough to drink in Facebook. But it's funny because I've had podcasts with, like, very left, like radical leftist people who have come on expecting a fight, and I was like, no, I'll listen. I'm willing to listen to your point, and here's mine if you'll hear it. And we may disagree, but person to person is a lot different than keyboard to keyboard. Because you're not going to be hateful. You're going to respect the person sitting in front of you. Even if you disagree, you're still going to be respectful.
Right.
And that's what I hate so much about the social media is people will say anything.
Because they have that shield.
I made a mild comment to a guy about not doing his research on something, and he came back and talking about how he fucking dominated my mom last night. I'm like, what a fucking child. Like, really?
Really?
I asked you to do some research on it because he was saying, God promised Israel this, and I basically said, do some research on what Israel is today versus what the gods promised. It's not the same.
Not.
And his answer was that he had dominated my mother. And I was like, that's not really helping the conversation. And
it just shows just how little people know, and just the fact that they'll just talk to talk.
Well, like, and what a fucking childish thing to say. And this is a great. This guy looked to be 50 in his profile.
It's just
like,
bizarre to me.
So I don't even engage in politics online anymore because there's nothing to gain from it. I just post family and band stuff because it'll eat you up if you let it.
Right. Yeah.
I want to pay attention, but I'm also not gonna let it ruin my life.
Yeah.
Because we can only control what is in our sphere of influence to control. We have no power over that.
Yep.
And we can get as pissed off as we want, but does that make us happier?
Exactly.
You know? And so I've tried to just say, you know, that's going on, but I've got my boys I got to raise. I got to focus on this in my family, but politics and for better or for worse, Trump has leveled it up. He's turned it into the WWE now. People are more interested in politics than they are entertainment. Part of that's because entertainment sucks, but like he's made it such a trash-talking, hyperbolic game now. That it's like, what follows this?
Exactly.
What comes after this? You know, I don't know. I do like J.D. Vance. I don't know what you think about him.
I mean, I
that hug with Erica was a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily dislike him as much as Trump, but I just don't trust anybody.
Well, that's a sad place to be, and I feel the same way. I don't trust any. I trust Thomas Massey and John Fetterman are about the only two people in the government that I truly believe.
And at this point, like, it's really just a matter of, like, I'm just going to see what happens. Like, I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to...
No, I'm never voting
It's just
again.
like, I'm just...
Sean Ryan, he's another one that helped get Trump elected that has bailed. The list is long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like literally
and that's
everybody.
So telling, because it's...
It is
and
telling.
Again, it's
but
like,
again, the Trump supporters will not...
Correct.
All those people are traitors.
Correct.
All of them?
Exactly.
Every one of them wrong?
Exactly. Like, yeah, I think,
You literally have Mark Levin and Sean Hannity are the only two people still supporting this administration.
Yeah.
And everyone else is over here. And I would love a third party. I hate the two-party system because it forces both sides to be radical.
Correct. And I mean, I'm just so curious as to what's going to happen because I feel like we've got to go to something else because, like, if this continues, I just don't think it will. I think it's going to crash and burn at some point. I just don't know when.
Well, neither the left or the right wants a middle party because they'd win every time.
Yeah.
The rational, common sense people would win every time.
Correct.
You know, and so you have the religious right, which I grew up in a very religious household, and I remember watching the conservatives. They tried to ban South Park, they tried to ban Grand Theft Auto, they tried to ban anything that was cool, and so I grew up believing myself to be a Democrat. And you know, I did vote for Bush, which I won't even get into that whole era, but as time went by, the left got more and more radical.
Right.
And crazy to where it's like, I mean, if this isn't popular to you, I'm sorry, but like the transgenders in women's sports thing.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I can't get along with that.
I agree.
You see a UFC fight where a dude breaks a woman's jaw.
Right.
And it made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are going in, you don't see it in reverse.
Right.
You don't see women going into the NFL or into fucking men's sports. It's one way because these losers can't make it on their own and they want to go beat up on women. Since, like, where are the feminists here?
Yeah.
Standing up for women. Like, nobody's standing up for them other than Riley Gaines and this Sophia chick from the WNBA. You know, and now Kenneth Center Freedom is the NBA player is like signed up for the WNBA draft. I don't know if you saw that.
I think I did.
Which is hilarious because it forces them to either say, okay, yeah, you can play, or if they don't let him play, then you can sue him for discrimination. Like, you put yourself in this box.
Yes.
Like, it's shit like that where the Democrats have gone so far off the
and that's
rails.
where I disagree with them because it's just like,
sure.
I mean, I think the way that I kind of think and the thing that I wish everyone would do is just mind your own business. But whenever it comes to stuff like that, like sports, and to the fact where it's like really just like completely unfair or just ridiculous, like, you know, I can't stand whenever there are transgender guys who say that they're women, but then they still look like a guy, or they still sound like a guy, or they, you know, hardly look like a woman. If you want to transition, I don't give a fuck.
Nobody cares.
Not one. But don't sit here and say that you're a woman whenever you look like a guy.
Yeah.
Whenever you're talking like a guy. Or whenever you still dress like one. Or any of this stuff. That in between, where they still try to get through with saying I'm a woman or whatever, that's bullshit. Like, stop. It's ridiculous.
I don't have a problem with anybody's bedroom activities or whatever.
Oh, yeah, no,
as
I
long
don't
as
care.
it's not harming other people.
Correct.
But there were girls who lost scholarships because they were beaten out by dudes, you know? Because they were third or not top two or whatever.
Yeah, and that's not okay, and I think there definitely needs to be regulations in that stuff.
And I don't think kids need to be learning about this stuff in kindergarten either.
I 100% agree.
That needs to be something that you know,
teenage
parents,
years, and it's a discussion. It doesn't need to be
Well, it became a trend in
to
Hollywood. Why is it that there's like 300 fucking actors and actresses that have transgender kids and multiple transgender kids?
It is odd.
It's almost like you put that seed into the kid, right? So you could be trendy and hip. Like, I just think it's evil. Like, kids can't make a decision to vote or drink or do any of these things, but they can decide to cut their dicks off.
Yeah, I think that's bizarre.
When they're a kid, no. That's the parents.
For sure.
Trying to be
and like,
woke.
if a child wants to sit here and, say that they want to transition when they're young, that is the parents. But like, whatever, do you, but you're not getting medicine, you're not getting surgery, you're not getting any of this
When
stuff.
you're 18, do whatever the fuck you want, but as long as you're under my roof, we're going to wait this out, see what happens. You might grow out of it. In fact, a lot of them do.
Yeah.
A lot of them grow out of homosexuality. I don't have a problem with homosexuality. I have a lot of great friends who are homosexuals. Doesn't bother me. Don't care. When they try and have sex with me, it makes me feel a little uncomfortable, and it's given me a little more appreciation for the female experience.
Right.
I couldn't imagine being a hot chick. It would suck. I have had some gay friends that have totally, made moves, and it made me uncomfortable. And it's like, whatever. But I don't care what you do in the bedroom. I don't think gays are going to hell. I don't think there's.
I agree, and I'm the same. I'm
there's
kind
a lot
of
of
in the
beautiful
same
gay
boat.
relationships out there.
Yeah, and I'm in the same boat about transgenders. Like, I don't give a fuck as long as your life isn't influencing me in any way.
Sure.
And it's not bothering me. It's not affecting me or anyone else. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's just where I am, and that's just like, I really just mind my business in like almost every aspect. It's just like, I don't care what's going on. I don't care what you do, as long as it doesn't affect me, my family, and what I got going on.
But it goes back to this polarization thing where it's like, I've always felt a little more left to center because I grew up with the right trying to kill everything I loved.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was evil.
Yeah.
Because God said, "Thou shalt not play Grand Theft Auto." Right? No, he didn't. It's one of the greatest games ever made. And they're trying to ban these things, which is anti-freedom. I'm pro-freedom almost in every instance, with the exception of a few things like kids and transgenderism and stuff like that. But I felt like the left went so hard, I had to turn to the right.
Correct.
And now the right has gone so hard, and the left is over
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I no longer have a home. I really never felt like I had a home. Because libertarians fucking suck. Their leadership sucks. Their political party sucks. If you could get like a Tucker Carlson, Thomas Massey coalition of people, Alex Jones, to support a...
Yeah.
I mean, you're too young to remember this, but like the 92 election, Ross Perot was on the ballot, and he stole a ton of votes. I remember learning about that,
yeah.
He stole a ton of votes from Bush to allow Clinton to get elected because a lot of people liked Ross Perot's mentality. And that's how, Clinton really got elected. And, of course, he won his second term as well without that. But still, libertarians are going to take votes away from both parties. And so neither party wants that. But both parties are getting more and more extreme. And I think the people who are going along with that are crazy.
Yeah.
And they get more and more idealized.
Yes.
In these things and become hardline versus being able to listen and learn and evolve.
Right, and that's the problem, and that's going to be the downfall of our country. That's what I think. It's just like, there's so many people that are so set in their ways and they're not willing to listen. And I literally have people in my life like this. Like, some of my family is like this. And it's gotten to the point where I just don't even discuss politics with them because it's just like, you're wrong. You're wrong. If you support Trump, if you support...
Well, they'll say the same thing about you.
Yeah, 100%. But it's like, morally, you're going to sit here and say that our government is good? That we're fucking joining our military with Israel? Correct.
I'd
and I
rather
don't.
you let you have your belief and I have
Yeah,
mine, and
and
let's
I
just
don't.
not talk about it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise...
I mean, that's the only way that I get along with the majority of my family is because we just don't talk about it.
Sure.
Because they know not to argue with me about it. Because I will argue. And I always have.
Right.
Like, my whole life. I'm very much a confrontational...
That shocks me.
Does it?
No. Not at all. I know your parents.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just... I will straight up say
and
that I
your
think you're
brother
wrong.
and your dad.
Yeah.
I know what stock you come from. But no, I get it. The most frustrating thing to me is it just when people won't even hear it and they get mad because no. And it's like we can't have just a conversation about it, like without getting mad. Like I don't take it personally. It's not.
I mean, that's the difference between me and some of my family and me and Ethan. Me and Ethan, like I mean, we were super opposite ways whenever we were younger.
Yeah.
But we still could talk, and we would still have respectful
I've got a lot of great
conversations.
friends like that who are very far left that we can still.
Yeah, and I
respect
mean,
each other.
we would disagree hard, but like we would still speak about it. We'd still conversate about it, and it was
beautiful.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yes, and I mean, I'm very glad that we've gotten to where we have. But then, you know, I have other people in my family who are just so set and like, no, you're wrong. I'm not going to listen to anything you have to say because you're just a kid. You don't know what you're talking about. I've always been told that. And it's like,
well,
I get that, but you're also 70 years old and listen to Fox
something about
News.
life experience, and I get that too. Whereas when you're young and don't have kids, that there's the perception that you don't know anything.
I agree, and like
I understand.
since then to now, I have definitely changed some of my views. But at the end of the day, the morals have stayed the same.
Sure.
Of what I believe is right in my heart and what I think was best for people.
Yeah.
Because I'm very much like, I want what's best for people. I want people to be happy, and like the moral of the situation is more important to me than whatever you're sitting here talking about.
Right.
And I've always felt that way. There are certain like, you know, political things that I've changed my views on or I've lessened up on or whatever. But like the moral of what I've always believed has stayed the same. And it's like, I feel like that's a huge problem in a lot of today's society is like, people just don't really have any morality as much as they used to.
Or it shifts with whatever leader they're following.
Correct.
At the time, which
Yeah.
is called being an ideologue.
Yeah.
You know, kids are stupid. I was a stupid kid. I thought I knew everything. And that's where I look at it from like I feel like the older I get, the less I know. Right? When I was 20, I thought I fucking knew everything. Everybody else was an idiot. And now at 45 almost, I'm like, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like the older I get, the less I realize I know. Because everything's fake.
Right.
It's all a stage.
Yeah.
It's all there to trick, and like we don't know what's going on. We don't have the intel they have. We don't know anything. You know, but I just find it sad that we can't have conversations anymore.
Yeah.
And sit down and just talk. And some people won't. I mean, some people
Right.
just won't do it. But I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. We have to see how this plays out, but I don't see anything other than nuclear escalation in World War III, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like we've been here before. I think, in my heart, I believe we have achieved this level of technology or better and have destroyed each other, and it's the world flooded, and we've had to start from scratch. I feel like we're at the tail end
Yeah.
of this arc of humanity,
Yeah.
sadly. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, whenever I was younger, I pictured like this whole life ahead of me, you know? And at this point, it's just like I'm so uncertain.
Yeah, that's a scary place to be for anybody.
Very much
though.
so.
I mean,
especially like being my age, like.
and you don't even have kids yet.
Exactly.
When you have kids, you're
Exactly.
going to be way more like.
And I mean, that's the thing where it's gotten to the point
Terrified.
where I'm just like, I want to be a mom so bad, but like, do I really want to bring a child into whatever's happening right now? And whatever
don't
could
let
happen?
Don't let that make your decision though.
It won't. It won't.
Have kids.
But the thought.
Be fruitful and multiply.
The thought scares me.
I get it.
I mean, it won't stop me because I want to be a mom.
Trust me, I got a 16-year-old who's
Yeah.
like, I will fucking smuggle him to Canada to get him off of, I'm not letting my kid die for a foreign country.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember growing up thinking draft dodgers were pieces of shit and, you know, un-American, and then, you know, now I'm a dad. It's like, good for them
Yeah.
for not wanting to go die for. I think if you get into office, your kids go first. That's just part of the deal. If you get elected, then your kids are on the front lines,
Yeah.
and you know that going in. So if you're willing to sacrifice your kids, good for you.
Yeah.
But they're willing to sacrifice yours
Right.
and everyone else's.
Right.
You know, and I respect anybody who served. I respect our military. I do.
Yeah.
I think they're the strongest, bravest people we have amongst the land. But it's all about who's giving their orders.
Right.
Right? That, you know. And I don't think you win a war with, I mean, Iran is not just a political state, it's a religious state.
Yeah.
And Israel is not just a political state, it's a religious state.
Yeah.
And that's where things get terrifying. Is that it's
Correct.
holy wars. It's my God's dick is bigger than your God's dick.
Yeah.
And I'm right. And
Yeah.
if I die, then I get rewarded. So they're not even afraid of death. Like if I die in the service of my God, I get 37 virgins. Or however many it is. I don't know. But, and I hope those virgins are fat and ugly. I'll just say that. That would be the ultimate, like, jest, wouldn't it? Oh my God, I don't know, but no, I try and be hopeful, but the more things go on, the more I pull away from it and like focus on what I can control.
Yeah.
Because if you live in that space, it will
Exactly.
toxify your soul.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I've just mostly avoided it, and I don't really
Yeah.
think about it too much because
Well, there's
like
people who are just perpetually angry over it, and I was that way for a while. Like I
Yeah.
was just constantly enraged, and I found like it's just like a drug or something. You finally get off of it, and you get clarity, and you know we
Yeah.
can't change the world. We don't have the
Right.
power unless we're united.
Yeah.
And how do you unite America
Exactly.
at this point?
At this point.
With social media. I mean, do you think there's a way to unite America?
I literally have no clue, and I'm like waiting to see it be like attempted
Well,
because I just don't even know how it would
one
happen.
thing I think that's sad that your generation missed out on was shared culture.
Yeah.
America used to be the number one exporter of culture in the world. Everybody wanted American culture, American jeans, American fashion,
Yeah.
American bands, American movies. After 9/11, we became homogenized. Like there hasn't been new fashion trends or new
Yeah.
really anything. I mean, even our movies are recycled. Like I don't know how you get back to that.
I just don't think you do. I mean, I think
Which is
America is.
Truly tragic.
Yeah, I think it's just so far gone from that. I don't think there's really any backpedaling. I think there's something that's big is gonna have to happen for it to just completely like restart almost.
Well, we have nothing in common anymore.
Right.
Like everybody's got like so when I was growing up, everybody had 5 channels. Right? And so everybody watched the same TV shows. You had the same radio stations.
Yeah.
You listened to the same bands. You might have your preferences here and there, but everybody was watching the same movies and the same TV shows.
Right.
And now you've got 70 streaming services.
Yeah, and there's just
for
so
music.
much going
It's
on.
so fragmented.
Yeah.
You're never going to have another Metallica.
Yeah.
It's a new band that's gonna. I mean, you might have a flash in the pan here and there. Who's the country star right now? That's got the #1 hit. You know who I'm
I
talking
couldn't
about?
even tell you.
There's some chick that's had a hit out for a
Oh,
few weeks.
yes,
I can't think of her name right
Lane
now.
something.
Yeah, but like, I feel like our culture is so divided now. Like we don't have a shared culture anymore,
Yeah,
and that's a problem.
it is. But I
Yeah.
mean, what do you do? I mean, I
Again,
feel like
yeah,
that's
again.
the question to everything. Is like, what do you do? There's nothing you can do about it. It's just like, really, it's just a matter of controlling what you can control and living your lives.
What kind of parent do you think you'd be? Do you think you would? Well, I'll just answer. Like, how do you think you would do as a parent?
I mean, I think I do wonderfully.
Yeah.
I'm very confident in my ability to be a mother.
Yeah.
Very.
And you want kids?
Yeah.
You want big family?
Mm,
Little family?
I'm thinking 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more than excited to see. I mean, I'm so excited to see how it's going to play out because my mom has always said, you know, you're going to end up just like me as a mother. And she was very, I mean, she's the best mom, but she was also very like, let us get whatever we want, you know, and we were spoiled as kids. I will admit that 110%. I know that. Now, obviously, I grew out of it, mostly.
Would you do that for your kids or no?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They're absolutely not. I mean,
it's
I love
funny
my
how
mom.
like you'll probably keep a lot of the things that your parents did, but you'll also
Right.
change a lot of things.
And she's so convinced that I'm gonna end up the same way, and I'm like, I promise you, I will not.
Mhm.
I promise. It's just like I know exactly what I want for my children. I know exactly how things are going to go, and I mean, even now with children in my life, like my little brother or like my cousins, like Ashton and Tripp, and just like these people, like if I'm around them, I'm very much motherly to them.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm very much like, if you do shit you're not supposed to, I'll call you out on it. Nolan listens to me. Like, if he's doing, you know, some spoiled ass shit and throwing a tantrum over something little, I'm like, why are you doing that? Stop. Like, you stop crying. Whatever's going on, stop. And, you know, he quits. You know what I mean? It's like going to bed. You know, he stays up. Mom lets him stay up until 10. And I disagree with that, but it is what it is. And I remember, like, you know, a few years ago, he'd be staying up, and it's 10:15. I'm like, get your ass to bed. Who do you think you are? What are you doing? Like, go. And he's like, well, Mom said. I was like, I don't care what Mom said.
Yeah.
I don't care. Go to bed. And, you know, Ashton, whenever I'm around her, I mean, she's my baby. I love her. I'm Auntie Emma.
That's
you know?
Ethan's
Yeah.
daughter, right?
But, I mean, if she's being ornery, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know, it's just, I'm very much, like, strict. I'm very much, like...
See, my deal with the bedtime rule was, stay up as late as you want, but you got to get up early. So
I will definitely do that whenever
works.
they get older, but, like, from the age... I mean, probably until, like, 9 or 10... they're gonna have a bedtime. You're not staying up till 12 on a school
well,
night.
yeah,
It's just
no,
not
I get
happening.
it. I get
Like,
it. Yeah.
but I mean, whenever you're hitting 12, 13, consequences of
Right.
actions. You learn that, and it's like whatever. Because I mean, growing up, I basically learned everything on my own. Like, obviously, my mom set things up for me. My parents set things up for me. But like, I was very much an independent child. Like, I just kind of did
But
my own
you're
thing.
still close with both of your parents.
Yeah.
You still have a good relationship
Yeah,
with them.
but it's just I've always been independent. I've always
Sure.
done my own
you've
thing.
had that independent spirit.
Yeah,
I was the same way. I was...
like filled out my own schooling. Like, I'm just very on top of shit always. So they never had to worry about me. So I've just been left alone, and I do my own thing, and I'm confident in what I do and what I choose. And so I think that's definitely going to go into me raising kids. Like, I know exactly what you're going to do and what you're not going to do, what I'm going to let fly and what I'm not. But at the same time, I'm very much loving. I love the thought of having babies, and I'm so, like, I love, you know, I'll come up to Nolan and grab his face and kiss him. You know, I adore him. But you're not going to be a little brat, and you're going to listen.
Yeah.
And that's going to shape you, because it's like, I was spoiled growing up. I got everything that I wanted, and the rest of my family gave me the wake-up call whenever I was, like, in my middle teens, and that's why I am the way that I am now. Because of the Overbys, really. Like, Grampy and Grandpa and Braun and April and Ethan and all of them. They really were like, they just showed me how I should be and how I should act. And that's how I've been able to get into where I am. And I'm so grateful for that. And so it's...
You got a good network behind you.
Yeah.
You got some good
100%.
people.
I wouldn't trade my family for anything.
Yeah.
Not anything.
I also was very confident in how I wanted to raise my kids. Like, I had an idea. And it was a lot of, here's how my parents did it. I'm throwing this out.
Yeah, and I'm
keeping this.
Yeah.
Like, one of my things I'll never forget about my mother was she always made my birthday so special.
Yes.
Like, whatever I was into, she'd decorate that. Like, I was into Robin Hood Prince of Thieves when it came out. Like, and she had all these scrolls and nooses and arrows. It's like, she made it so special. Like,
Yes.
it was your day, you know, and such a loving mother in that regard. But then there were things that I strongly disagreed with, and I was like, that's not my way. And I'm very much a libertarian. It's like freedom first.
Yes.
Even like a couple weeks ago when Theo was going out camping, and Dad was like, "You gonna bring some water shoes?" And he's like, "No, I'm just gonna bring my boots." And Dad's like, "You can't just wear boots in the water." And I was like, "Well, he's gonna have a life jacket on." He's like, "Yeah, but those boots are gonna get soggy." I said, "Dad, let him make his own mistakes. He's gonna hate it. He's gonna end up taking his shoes off. Let him make the mistake." I wasn't allowed to make mistakes. Like, I was told, do this, and do that, you know. But I always had to learn the hard way. So I would do the opposite, and then I'd realize, okay, they were right about this.
Yeah.
But I still had to learn it. And so I've always wanted my kids, I'll give you advice.
Correct.
But I'm not going to force you. Because if I force you, if you're anything like me, I'm going to do the opposite.
Yes.
So I knew that. So it was like, I will suggest or give you advice, and if you choose to go against it, then those are your consequences to deal with.
Yeah, there have been a few instances with Nolan where, you know, my mom or my dad is trying to stop him from doing something, and I'm like, no, let him. Let him.
Yeah.
Because he'll learn.
You got to let him fall.
Exactly. He'll learn. Just
but it's
leave
hard.
him be.
It's hard for mothers and fathers to watch their kids fail.
Right.
But it's the only way.
Right.
And if you try and force them not to fail, they're going to intentionally fail. Yep. You know, I was that person. You could not control me. I did not want to hear. I was going to do what I was going to do, no matter what. I was a terrible teenager. I was a terrible son from probably 13 to whenever I moved out.
I mean, I was always good. I mean, my mom will always say that she never had to worry about me. Because I just feel like I've always had a good head on my shoulders, and I've always been smart. Like, I've never intentionally just made a stupid decision. Like, I just don't. I'm just very, like, much a logical thinker. And I'm so grateful for the way that I think. Like, I love the way that I think, and I love it. And, like, I've never really had to learn something so hard because I've just thought about it. It's just like, what is this going to get me? What am I going to gain? Or what am I going to lose? You know, like, that's just kind of how I think about situations. So, I can't even remember me falling on my ass too hard whenever I was younger because I don't know. I just thought about it. So, that's good for me.
Yeah.
And I pray to God that my kids are the same way. But we'll see. I'm prepared.
You're dating a gentleman, right?
Yeah.
How long y'all been together?
A couple months.
How'd you meet this guy?
Work.
Okay. You see it going places?
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. Young love.
Yeah, I've been through it. I'm very much, like, before this relationship, it was weird. Like, every relationship before this was different. And, like, the last relationship I had before this one, I was very much like, I let that person walk over me, which is not me.
That doesn't sound like you at all,
I know,
actually.
Right?
Who was this alpha Chad who dominated you?
He was just a fucking dumbass. And if he watches this, fuck you, go fuck yourself. He actually tried to send me a message.
No names.
He tried to send me a message the other day. He sent me, like, a picture of a painting that I made for him. And I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. I was like, absolutely not. I texted him, I was like, this is hilarious. And I was like, no. Like, you traumatized the fuck out of me. I don't wish any bad for you. I don't wish any bad for anybody. But fuck you. I'm not doing this.
Why do you think you allowed him to do that?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Because that's antithetical to your nature.
Correct.
So what was it that...
I literally have no clue. And that's, like, I literally think to myself nowadays, like, what was I thinking? And I knew while I was in the relationship, the entire time, I literally would ask myself, what am I doing right now?
How long were you with him?
Like, 8 months-ish. The relationship wasn't terrible until, like, the second or third month. But that's where I can't believe myself.
What's the longest relationship you've been in?
2 years.
Okay.
But, I mean, that was just so bizarre to me. And after that, I was like, yeah, I'm never doing this again. Like, I'm never going to let someone treat me like that again. Yeah. Ever. So, the guy I'm with right now, he's trained. Like, and he knows it, too. Love ya. He knows it, because it's like, you're going to treat me a certain way. I'm just very strict about how I'm going to be treated, how you're going to treat others, how you're going to treat yourself. Like,
but that's good for you for setting standards out.
I mean, yeah, it's just like, whoever I'm with, in relationships or friendships or anyone in my life, like, There's going to be standards, there's going to be boundaries for how you treat me and how you treat yourself. Because it's like, everyone in my life, I want the best for you.
But there's also going to be fights.
Yeah.
You know, it's, my sister, bless her heart, you know, she wants the Disney prince. You know, she grew up on Disney movies, and that's who she thinks a man should be. And I'm like, honey, there ain't no man like that. It's not, there's going to be fights. Marriage is a battlefield sometimes.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my wife and I are very aligned on how we raise our children.
Yes, that is a huge thing.
And that is a huge thing. 'Cause so many, the two biggest things couples fight about are sex and how to raise kids. And it is so important to be aligned on how to raise kids, because
Absolutely.
if you're not, what I have seen, now not in my personal experience, because Julie and I are very, very much aligned on how to raise our kids, but what I've seen with other families is that when they disagree, certain families will try and turn the kids against the other one, and you start having these factions where parents are trying to manipulate the kid against their partner, and that just breaks families apart.
100%.
It's so
and I mean,
awful.
I've literally been through this. Like, my parents did not agree on how to raise us, and my mom was always very much like, whatever they want, which I love her for that, you know, because obviously I want what I want.
Sure.
And my dad was more like, let's discipline them.
Yeah.
And they just never, my mom got her way with that, basically.
Yeah.
And so now that they're separated, my dad, like with Nolan, he gets both of them separate now. So he gets, you know, one side there, one side that. And I think that's really going to balance him out. Because it's like, whenever we were with, you know, my parents were together, me and Brennan, we got whatever we wanted, and that was that. And with Nolan, he's kind of getting both of them. So I'm really interested to see how he's going to turn out in that way. But he's the sweetest kid. I mean, he is the sweetest boy. I mean, we're all so lucky.
I hope him and Theo end up having a relationship.
I feel like they will.
I hope so.
But I mean, he's an angel. And I think we're all so lucky that he is turning out the way that he is.
He really is the cutest kid,
and he's hilarious and a social butterfly. And he's just everything that I could want him to be, he is. And I love that. But it's like, you know, growing up with my parents, me and Brennan, and them not agreeing on how to raise us, it's an interesting thing to experience.
Yes.
But with me being me, very outspoken, very this is how shit's gonna go, I was always in the middle of that, and I never let either of them influence. I'm so hard to influence. So hard to peer pressure. Like, anyone in my life will say that. Like, all of my friends are like, don't even bother, she's not gonna fold.
Yeah.
And I don't, ever. And that's how it is with literally anything in my life. If I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. And so, you know, with their separation and everything, it was attempted on both sides of, like, it wasn't necessarily complete shit talk, but it was just, like, borderline that. You know what I mean?
That's how,
I was like, I think you're wrong here, and I think you're wrong here. I was always very outspoken.
You were able to discern.
100%.
Yeah.
Now my brother, I think he's a little more naive, perhaps. Brennan. But, I mean, I'm just very much, like I said, a logical thinker, a moral thinker. Where are you wrong and where are you wrong, and I'll say both to your faces. I don't care. And it's just like, seeing that and seeing the way that unfolded and experiencing that has made it extremely clear. I already knew this.
Folks, we have the world's first logical woman on the podcast today. Jokes. Jokes.
But seeing that, I mean, I already knew, but experiencing it really solidified the fact that I need to be with someone who is on the same page with me about raising kids. Because I will not go through that. I mean, it's my way.
But isn't that interesting of how your childhood went down? Now you have a hard plan of, I want this for my kids.
Yeah.
And I was the same way. I didn't like this about my raising, and I'm going to change this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep the good shit,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's not a diss to my parents. There ain't no fucking manual for raising kids. You know?
Yeah.
My parents did the best job they could at the time, and times were changing.
Yeah, and my parents were great. I mean, I loved my childhood.
Yeah.
Everything was good. You know, my mom also made our birthday special and holiday special, and it was just wonderful. And I will 110% bring that in my kids' lives, if not more.
Who has better hair, your mom or your dad?
Better what?
Hair.
They're both actually really similar. It's odd. I don't know.
I saw when I was, I don't know when it was, but I was looking back. I don't know if it was Dermfest 3 or something. I was looking at pictures of me and Josh. I found this picture of him with short hair and no beard, and him and me playing guitar. I was like, God, I can't remember the last time I saw him.
He's actually planning on cutting his hair soon, which I'm not ready for.
Short?
Yeah. And I haven't seen. He's had long hair my entire life.
What we can do is we can hog tie him.
Okay.
And we leave him in the shed for a couple days to think it over.
Right.
He
He did shave his entire beard like a few years ago, and I absolutely hated that. And I was like, "You're never ever doing that again." And he was on the same page, but he's convinced that he needs to get his hair cut because women are not attracted to guys with long hair.
So he's
Says
doing
him.
it for the ladies?
Yeah.
That's not the right reason to do that.
Well,
if you want the right lady, keep the hair, Josh.
That's
Don't do
what
it,
I
Josh.
say. Yes. Don't do
fucking
it.
do it. Now, I personally can't. My kids are always peer pressuring me. Dude, you gotta grow your hair out if you want to be a true rock star. I'm like, fuck that shit. It's hot. It takes forever to wash and dry. No, I don't like it. But I am making the attempt.
Got a little mullet coming.
I've got my mullet coming in. I'm gonna see how far I can go. But usually, what happens is like literally it'll just be like 11:30 at night and everybody's asleep and I'm like, I do not want to wash this shit in the morning, and I will just zzz and buzz it off. The funniest story, Walter was 4, I think, when my sister-in-law got married, and so me and my father-in-law and my brother-in-law all did these handlebar mustaches, which meant I had to shave my goatee.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do those all for the picture, just to be ridiculous, right? So I shaved my goatee off, and I just had this handlebar. And then I just decided to restart. And I'd come back completely shaven. And I came home from work one day, and Walter saw me and started crying.
Yeah.
He's like weeping. And Julie goes, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "That is not Daddy." Like, he was like really upset. Like, he thought there was an imposter coming in. Like,
I've seen so many videos like that. Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, I'm not... I'll never shave this again. We'll see how the hair goes. I am trying to be rock star with it, but I just don't have the patience, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
I don't know
brutal.
how you ladies do it.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Do you put your hair up a lot,
yeah.
or you usually wear it? Yeah.
I mean, I have to for work, but like, if I'm outside,
Yeah.
it's up. I can't have it
Yeah.
down if I'm outside for like a long time.
So, when you think about motherhood, like, what excites you most about it?
Raising them, and how I want to like. I'm just excited to see how they'll turn out with the way that I have planned to raise them. Like,
Because it's such a long process. It takes
Yeah.
so long to see, you know.
Yeah.
Like those, I was not a great dad when they were little because dads are more tactile. You want to
Right.
be doing stuff, and it was like, oh, I can read you a book you don't understand, or but like as my kids started getting old, and I see this frustration with a lot of dads. Like mothers are so nurturing, all they just
Right.
want to do is hold the thing, and it's like, what am I gonna do with this? And maybe I'm not the only terrible dad on the planet when kids are little. I assume most of them are to an extent, but it's just like. They were a lump.
Yep.
And then, you work with them and you start reading. I remember Max started reading at a very young age, and we started book clubbing together, and it's like, once you find that connection,
Yeah.
and then it gets so magical, and now, like, I don't know, I'm just living my dream life right now, like,
Yeah.
Walter and I are playing a band together,
I mean, yeah, that's amazing.
It's so magical, and I mean, it's really special that you and your dad are playing together. I love... I've lamented that Josh and I didn't share a stage for so many years, and now we're doing it again. That's really special to me, just because, we played in our first band together when I was 15, he was 16.
Yeah, and now you guys are doing it with your kids.
And now we're doing it with the next generation, and like that just makes it super special to me. And I want to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I want to see where you go. I want to see you put some effort into this, and we can make it happen. Make something happen. But I guess so. Like you said, you wanted like 2 to 3 kids.
Yeah.
Are you thinking public school, homeschool? How do you see that going?
It really just depends on where
You think
the
you'd be in
state is.
position to homeschool at all? Would you consider
I
that?
would consider it, yeah. It just depends on how things are going on in the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
it could change so fast, you know?
Yeah.
And I know at some point I was really heavily considering homeschooling whenever I did have kids. But it just depends, because I want them to have that experience of public school, of getting that
Sure.
socialness.
Absolutely. Well, things
all
have
of that.
changed so much.
Correct.
So, like, when I was growing up, when the homeschool kids came, it was like, oh my God, these kids are weird, right?
Right.
And it was the thing. And Julie always wanted to homeschool from day one. I was like, no. Like, that, I don't want my kids to be weirdos. And then when COVID hit and they were going to mask my kids, who were like 4 and 2 at the time, 6 and 4, I was like, no, I'm not sending my kids to school in masks. It's not the teacher's job to keep my kids in masks. They're not going to be learning shit. Yank them out, homeschool them. And that was kind of a stance. But I also knew my wife was capable of it. And she's done an amazing job because she got them involved in a homeschool co-op.
Yeah.
Where all these parents come and teach together. So it's like a school. And there's 150, 200 kids in this co-op, right? So they're doing that, plus they've got every extracurricular you can imagine. So they're doing all these things. So they're definitely being socialized. And then once they hit 7th grade, they have to take classes at public school, to do all that. But the thing I love the most about it, and the thing I hated the most about being in public school, was the pressure to do what's popular, to do what's cool. I got to wear Tommy Hilfiger or Banana Republic or whatever. And we had so many douchebags in school. I was always that kid who, like, if it's popular, I went the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I just thought it was douchey, which ironically made me popular because I did my own thing, right? And that was an unintended consequence. I just didn't want to be a douche.
Yeah.
But my kids not being in public school and having to have this set of genes or this set of... made them develop their own personalities to where now... I feel like their personalities were formed on their own.
Correct.
And they're strong.
Yeah.
And they have their own identity.
Yes.
And so now when they do go into high school, like somebody gives them shit, they can roast them right back and say, "Fuck you," I don't have to be part of this club.
Right.
And you never have to be. It's people wanting acceptance.
Yes.
Right? And I think that was probably the biggest benefit of homeschool, was letting them develop their personalities.
Yeah.
On their own and feeling confident on their own,
right?
And giving them ways to feel confident, doing robotics or archery or karate,
right.
Whatever it is, as long as you're doing something and staying engaged. But I think that's the biggest danger to me for public school, is that you're teaching kids to basically be sheep and follow what is popular.
Exactly. And I don't want that at all.
No.
And
I was that way when I was little. And then I realized that even though I did or tried to do whatever I did, it didn't make me popular. It didn't make me cool. It didn't make them like me.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I said, so when I was little, I was a nerd. I read books on the playground. I wasn't very athletic, and I'd get soccer balls kicked at my head, and people would always throw shit at me. And finally, in 7th grade, I was like, I'm gonna fucking play football. I'm tired of this. If I can't beat him, I'm going to just join him.
Yeah.
And it was the best decision I ever made. Because it taught me how to be tough. It taught me that just because they say mean words doesn't mean they're being bullies. Sometimes they're trying to be your friend and trying to just see how tough you are. Yeah. It's kind of that mafia mentality. How tough a guy are you, And then it taught me how to shit talk. It taught me how to do that. And that was one of the things I learned. And then I gained the respect of my peers. And I didn't have to join them. I could be on the team, but I didn't have to be their friends.
Yes.
I gained the respect,
yes.
which allowed me to be free to who I wanted to be. And that was very valuable. And so that's what I've always, from day one, I've always roasted my kids for everything. You just fucking call them out. And, you do it in a fun, friendly way, unless they're doing something, you got to come down on them. But just in general, just roasting on them. And they're so quick-witted and they come back, and they roast me.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. If you're going to dish it, you got to take it, Yeah. But as a dad, I would always roast them for shit, and they'd always come back at me, and we still have that relationship. And so they can go out, anywhere in life, and somebody can give them shit and they can come right back. You know, they can hold their own. They've got tough skin. They don't just cry. I mean, I used to cry if kids were mean to me when I was in elementary. I was that big a pussy. Like, I didn't know anything else.
Yeah.
You know, my mama wanted to protect me like a little bear cub, you know, and she did. And she fought my fights for me. But I had to fight my own, you know, and that was tough for me to learn. But I definitely wanted my kids from day one knowing, don't be thin-skinned.
Yeah. Don't
be a pussy. Fucking, you know, take care of yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Be who you want to be. Unless you're harming yourself or others, you know, choose your own identity.
Yeah.
And don't go through this corral of, I got to go to college and I got to be this or that. You know, follow what you love for as long as you can.
Yeah.
So I think we spent too long pushing people into colleges, and we have a bunch of people with fucking history and gender studies degrees who are, you know, spinning their wheels.
Yeah.
What'd you get your degree in?
It was just a general degree.
Yeah.
Like Associates of Science and Liberal Arts, whatever.
Right on. You said you liked college a lot more in high school, though.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever do any sports or anything like that?
The only, like, extracurricular I did was choir.
Choir.
I wish my parents would have put me in sports whenever I was little. And I will be doing that with my kids. That's one thing that I learned that I will do.
Really? You wish you had done sports?
Yes. But I was just so, like, scared of it because I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Sure.
And I just, so, yeah, I wish they would have put me in sports whenever I was, you know, like a child. You know, just like the little T-ball or whatever the hell,
right.
You know, that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that for my kids, and they don't have a choice. Like, you're going to get exposed to this.
Yeah.
You're going to learn it, and then whenever they get older, if you don't like it, that's fine. But you're going to learn,
yeah.
And you're gonna try it out. Like, because, I mean, I think I could be extremely athletic if I wanted to. But at this point, I don't, because I didn't, and I don't want to go through the whole, you know, discipline of getting into shape and all that stuff. Like, I just don't care to do it anymore.
I also don't like the discipline of getting into shape, as you can tell. But I was a football player from 7th grade through senior year. Had a great high school career, and it gave me a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
And, of course, I wanted my kids to play, but I've never been that dad that's want to force anybody down any path. I didn't force Walt into music, didn't force any of the kids, but he chose to play football. He played for several years, and then he just didn't want to play anymore. I was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
You did it. You tried it. You were successful at it, but it's just not your thing.
Yeah.
Theo played last year, and he was good. He was a good linebacker, but he was just like, Dad, I'd rather do dirt bikes and because it's 2 practices a week plus your Saturday, so it's 3 days a week commitment.
Yeah.
And he didn't love it.
Yeah.
He was like, I just don't really want to play.
I don't care what my kid does, as long as you have a hobby. As long as you are keeping yourself busy with something that you enjoy. But I'm not going to sit here and let you play video games.
That's not a fucking tablet.
Correct.
Now, that's a problem.
Correct.
I see, now, when we talk about homeschooling, I've seen the best and the worst of it.
Right.
And I give my wife a ton of credit for being awesome as like, we start at this time, we have curriculum, you get your shit done. Because if I get home and my kids are still working on school at 4:30, like, I get pissed. I'm like, you guys have had all fucking day to do this. And you're still fucking around with it. And my wife's very good about, like, keeping them on track. And so was I. I was like, if you guys aren't done with school when I get home, you ain't doing electronics, you're not doing shit. Like, you have a rare privilege. You don't have to get up at 6:30 and get on a fucking bus and go sit in a classroom for 8 hours. The least you can do is get your shit done in the 6-hour span, between when you're doing school.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that motivated them too. But I've also seen the worst of homeschool, where parents just pull them out of school and then let them play video games and be on a tablet all day.
Yeah.
Which is one of the most dangerous.
Absolutely.
The kids get addicted to that dopamine, especially the short. I don't mind them watching, like, instructive content, long form content.
Right.
It's the fucking shorts.
Yes.
The little 30-second. You gotta have that dopamine hit. What's the cool thing?
And how, like, children nowadays, like, they'll click on a video, watch it for a minute, and then they want the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I see 3-year-olds do this. I'm like, this is not okay.
Oh. I see 3-year-olds in Walmarts, like, sitting in the cart on a tablet.
Yes. Absolutely not. And I know 100% my kids will not have access to that. Absolutely not.
That's good.
Because, I mean, Nolan has had a tablet ever since he was a kid.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's not the worst, but, like, it's still an addiction, you know? And, like, my brother Brennan, you know, he's had his PC. And it's just, like, I've had access to these things, too, but I didn't get addicted like they did.
Yeah.
But it's, like, I've seen the way it has unfolded in my family and so many others. And it's, like, there's zero chance I will let my children do this because it's bad.
Are boys more susceptible to it or no?
Honestly,
just because of like the video
I would
games?
Probably say so. Like, I'm sure that might be a statistic. I don't know as many girls
who are like addicted to tablets.
Yeah, I would probably say it would be a boy thing, but I'm not going to confirm that obviously. But it would make sense.
Girls are more into like the communication piece.
Yeah.
Like that,
but yeah, like my kids won't. I mean, I really don't even want to have a tablet in the house whenever they're developing, because it's like, I don't want them to throw fits over it.
Yeah.
I don't even want them to know it exists, because if they don't know it exists, then you can't throw a fit over it. Then you can't ask for it. You can't do all these things. So it's like, you're not doing that. Like, and you know, the kid shows that there are nowadays, like, Coco Melon and all that stuff. Absolutely not. Zero chance. I will raise my kids.
What is Coco Melon?
It's just a ridiculous, like, kids show, like a baby show.
Okay.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Like, just, absolutely not. And it's very addicting to kids. No. Like, I will raise my kids on things that I watched growing up, you know, like Clifford and Curious George and stuff like that. Like, they're not, whatever.
You watch Curious George?
Yes.
That's not your generation. That's like my generation.
I love Curious George.
How did you even watch that?
It was streaming whenever I was young.
It?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess streaming is a thing then, yeah. Okay.
I loved Curious George. And just
That's
stuff
funny.
like that. Like, I
loved Curious George when I was a kid.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm so set on these things, because it's like, I know how I want my kids to turn out, and I'm not going to set them up for failure.
Yeah. Well, Thea wanted a tablet, and we eventually, I had one that I didn't use, and we caught him sneaking it after bedtime, and that thing no longer exists.
Yeah.
It's like, if I can't trust you with it,
correct,
then we're not going to have it in the house.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, whenever they get older to the point that, you know, they can reason with me, then we can discuss limited screen time of tablets or PCs or PlayStations or whatever.
You use the term discuss. That was something I didn't have growing up, where parents and kids discuss things.
Yeah, and that is something I'll do differently, yeah.
These are the fucking rules, and that is it. There's no room, and, you know, it was like...
I'll 100% give my kids the option to discuss things with me.
You're still the executive producer, and you can override. Correct. But you'll let them have their say. But I'll let you have,
you can argue, like, you can give me your argument.
Right.
And we'll see if it's reasonable, if it's logical, and if it's not, then it's not happening.
But, like, the way my dad grew up in his house, my grandpa was born in 1938, it was his fucking kingdom, you know? This is the law, and you do it, or you fucking, you know, it's my way or the highway.
And there will be certain things, I'm sure, where I'm set, and there's no talking about it. But, like, certain things with, you know, screen time, I feel like there will be discussions. But I 100% know that it's not going to get out of hand. You know, it's going to be, you know, you do an hour of reading, you get a certain amount of time.
And that's beautiful, because reading is really great for the brain.
Yeah.
It really is. But we went to such extremes because our grandparents had such tough lives, and they demanded their kids be tough. Right? Yeah. Because you had to be.
Right.
You know, if there was a depression, you had to grow your own food. You had to hunt your own fucking meat. Right? Like, they lived through that kind of shit, and now I feel like we've gone to the opposite, where the kids rule the house.
Yes.
Where the parents let 100%. The kids decide whatever they want to do.
100%.
And they feel like they can't tell them no, or they're being a bad parent, and then you end up with a fucking monster.
Exactly.
And so I feel like I've seen in my lifetime it go from this extreme to the opposite.
Yes. Crazy. And I mean, I've seen both sides of parents parenting and parents letting their child.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre to me. And I know for a fact my kids will never go over me. Ever. But I'm just so... That's just who I am. I don't fold. I'm very set on whatever's happening. If I think this is best for you, this is what's going to happen. Period. End of story. I mean, I just think watching parents fold to their kids because they're throwing a tantrum or whatever, it just...
It's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, why?
I know people who say it's Saturday, it's tablet day. You can have your tablet all day long.
No.
It's like...
It's Saturday, we're going to the park. We're going to the zoo.
Why is that a thing?
Yeah.
Just
so you can get a break?
Come on.
Yeah.
We live it. Even the poorest among us live better than kings did 1,000 years ago. You know what I mean? We have heating, we have air conditioning, we have running water, we have microwaves, we have all these things. Like the fact that these kids get to do whatever the fuck they want whenever they want.
Yeah.
And the parents are like basically their servants.
Correct.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's crazy to
me. And what are those kids going to turn up
exactly
to be like?
Exactly. They're going to get everything they want. They're going to be brats. They're going to be disrespectful to other people, too.
Well, the real world's going to hit them hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you going to make it?
But it's like, I'm so... I need my children to be respectful and kind. Like, that is what I need them to be.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the number one thing in my house is you're going to be respectful and you're going to be kind. You're not going to get everything you want. You're going to learn what you need to learn in a respectful way. And it's just like, I'm not going to give you everything you want. You're not going to be a brat. And you're going to be able to learn how to take that from other people too.
Yeah.
Whenever other people tell you no. Whenever teachers tell you no. Whenever bosses tell you no. Anyone, you're going to take it on the chin and you're going to react accordingly. I'm not going to let you sit here and throw a tantrum. I'm not going to let my 16-year-old come complain to me because their boss said they can't do something.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, there's a reason for this. You know? You're not going to get everything you want. Be respectful. You know? Don't throw a fit. Don't come to me to try and fix your problems because you want to have everything you want. This is not happening. Like, I'm so set on that.
I think the most important thing in a child's life, personally, is having a present mother and father in the home. Mm-hmm. Because you need both.
Yeah.
Single moms, great on you. You're doing the best you can. Doesn't replace a dad. Vice versa. Single dads, great for you, but you can't replace a mom. But I got married pretty late. I think I was 26 when I got married. And I'd courted several ladies. But the one thing I really looked for more than anything else was, are we aligned on how to raise our kids? That was kind of what, like when I was young, it was like tits and ass, you know, who's got the best of those? That's who I want to get with, you. But, you know, as I got a little older and a little bit more mature, you know, it was like, if I really want to settle down, like, because I wanted a family, and it was like, who has those values?
Yeah.
You have to have those shared values at some level. And, you know, my wife and I fight like cats and dogs. Everybody does. You know, we have our arguments, but by God, I mean, I couldn't have married a more amazing woman as far as a mother. And how aligned we are, and how fucking great of a job she's done homeschooling those boys. Because I don't have, you know, when I do get to work from home Mondays and Fridays, but for the 2 years I worked from home during COVID, I was able to be a part of that homeschool. Like, I taught, like, music appreciation, you know, and I just let them listen to rock albums, you know. It was just fun, you know, because you could just introduce them to stuff. Yeah. And what do you think about this? Yeah. And, you know, even now on Mondays and Fridays, you know, I'll try and introduce them to things. And, you know, I don't know. I also don't like taking any credit. Mm-hmm. Because you never know when a kid can just go fucking south, you know, and just go rogue. So I don't know. So much of it is like, how much of it is genetic and how much nurture versus nature, I guess is the way to put it, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, how much genetic are you gonna have to fight? Because you got some strong genetics in your family, some very stubborn genetics, as do I. You know, so, well. I think it'll all work out for you. You'll be the rock star mom. You'll have your own band, your own name in the lights. That's where we're going.
Okay.
I want to see you do music. I want to see you keep it up.
Okay. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. Well, it's been very enjoyable. I know you got something to go to here shortly. Going to see Spider-Man. Have you heard any reviews? You hearing good things?
I've
bad
heard that
things?
it's good. I haven't heard too much about it. I've tried to steer away from it.
I haven't heard whether it's good or bad. I've just seen the numbers, and it's
I've heard
doing
it's
gangbusters.
good. I've heard it's better than the one before that, I think.
Well, you just binged them all, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, how did you like the other ones? Like,
They were fine.
Even...
They stress me out. Like, this is why I don't watch them, because I'm like, oh my god, like, I don't, this last one, Peter Parker is fighting these people because he got them from different universes, and,
Okay.
Everyone's against him, and just all these things. I'm just like, oh my god, like, I just have really, like, bad anxiety when I'm watching movies. Even though I know it's going to work out.
Right.
It's just like, especially because I haven't seen them before. So it's like, I don't know what's happening 100%. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Right on. Well, enjoy the theater. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
And doing some tunes, and we'll talk offline about that
Okay.
in the Bostick band.
Okay.
We got to get that going.